Hello and welcome to Non-Effort. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I hope you're all doing well today. Welcome to a chill non-effort. We have no Brad today. It's just PB and me. So we're going to have to struggle really hard to come up with really interesting things. Because we just met for the first time.
Yep.
And, you know, we don't know anything about each other, so it's going to be super tough. We were just talking about sleep issues.
Yeah.
And how badly they ruin our lives. I've had really bad insomnia for like the last 2 weeks or so, and I've been struggling. Like I feel so lucky when I get like a full night of sleep or anything remotely close to a full night of sleep, and I've had 2 full nights of sleep, so I have no excuse for today being shitty at all. This is full power. I have full power right now. If I can't do it at full power, what the fuck is the point, you know? And
what is this spiral?
This is my mind. This is what normally goes on. Yeah,
I know.
This is what
you say to yourself. Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the death spiral that goes on in my mind at all times. And I saw something from Neil deGrasse Tyson that was like, you can't use fans. Don't use fans.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes you cold at night and you like the cold, but it stirs the dust up apparently in your spot. And if you don't have any sort of exhaust for the dust to leave, then it's just circulating the air you think is good, but it just circulates the dust, and apparently you breathe in more dust. I've been using fans my whole friggin' life. So I don't know how much it's affected me. Maybe that's why I am the way that I am.
I also saw this thing about how breathing from your mouth instead of your nose is like destroys your teeth over time.
I'm pretty good with it.
While you sleep.
I'm pretty good with it. I've got a big nose, so I can air can come in and out pretty quick. Yeah, it's a big honker. I got a big one. It's all right.
What? No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. I think my nose is bigger than yours.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Chat? I'm pretty sure it is.
Hold on. My face has to come closer to the camera. I have a giant head. I have a massive melon. So
okay.
this is about
I think our nose might be the same size.
No.
Yeah.
Get out the roller, chat. Find out.
This is what you get for a non-effort with us.
You've done
my nose is bigger than yours.
You've done a forehead measuring.
Well, okay, but that was an accident, okay? And yes, it was a forehead situation. And for those listening who don't know, I've always been super self-conscious about my forehead, which right now currently is covered by a fringe, thankfully, because I'd be self-conscious of the fact that everyone is now looking at my forehead going, oh, is it that big? But anyway, I've always been self-conscious about it. And I told Stream once, and then Stream was like, you don't have a big forehead. And I was like, guys, stop being, you don't need to be nice to me. I definitely do. And it's fine. And it's something I'm okay with. And I get it. And I understand. And then Stream and I were arguing about it, and we looked up the average size of a forehead, and I did go and I did measure my forehead. And it turns out it is slightly smaller than average.
Wow.
And I was mortified. I was like, what? What do you mean? That is contrary to what my mind has been telling me my whole life.
It could be astigmatism, you know? It's like, I've got astigmatism and I see things smaller than they are. So it's
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like my glasses make stuff smaller.
Well, I have astigmatism too. I got it corrected with my laser eye surgery. But I didn't realize that it makes you see things smaller than they are.
Yeah, it's really noticeable for me. If I take off my glasses, like if I just hold my hand up or something. Yeah. It's like the same spot. My hand's way bigger. Like it's crazy.
Okay,
it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like the glasses are condensing my vision. It's weird. It's weird. Is it a factor of nearsighted versus farsightedness? It might be. I have no fucking idea. I've got zero.
And it's the opposite, right? If you're nearsighted, you can't see things that are far away.
Correct.
Or wait, yes, okay.
No, that was correct. Yeah, nearsighted you
Then-
can see close. Farsighted
Yeah.
you can see far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm horribly nearsighted. My
Yes, I
distance,
was as well.
I can see super well up close, like ridiculously well.
Hello, Equus.
Hello.
Oh, that's what we should do today. We should show off some that Genesis art.
We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. I don't have it set up, but I can do that.
Yeah, we can
it's not-
get to it here in a minute.
It's no worries. No worries. We got the power. Got the power.
I meant to suggest that and then got wrapped up in the game.
Yeah, no
The
worries.
esoteric ebb.
Yep.
God, it's so good, guys.
It is. It is. We're
Yep.
both enjoying it, and
Mhm.
I can't tell if it's because it's D&D Disco Elysium or if it's
Yeah.
just a good game.
I mean, it's probably both, but I think it's extra magical because we both really enjoyed Disco Elysium, and then it's the world that, it's not necessarily the world that we know and love. It's not Faerun or anything, but it is D&D, and it's very interesting to see them, that their take on their own world, because they've made their own world, and we're in the process of building a world with D&D in mind right now too. So it's really neat to be like, oh, so was their take on this, and I really like what they did with these societies or these places, and what they chose to do with their calendar, and so it's got a lot of elements I really like.
I feel like I've gotten really interested, and this is only kind of like a really recent thing for me, but I've gotten really interested in how games pace things and how much information and lore dumping they do. Like how much exposition do they do versus just letting stuff float in the background. And we have a limited time when we do a show, right? We have 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours where we run our show, and we have to pace things a certain way to make it feel like something happened in an episode, or several things happen, and we end, hopefully on like a cliffhanger type experience, so people are dying to see the next episode. But I feel like it's a very recent occurrence for me where I've gotten very focused on that stuff when I play a game. I'm just like, how long is my character in this area, or how long, because I break it down almost like scenes on shows, where it's like, how many scenes am I going to have in one episode of a show? How many places are they going to go to? And something that I think you are especially good at is just letting the scene sort of take its own time. We'll be in this one scene for the entire session, and just let it play out based on what happens from the players and what have you, and not you necessarily trying to push it. Or I feel like that's almost like a last resort for you. It's like, I'm only going to push this scene if I feel like it's really stagnating.
Do you think that your hyperfixation on the way that because is it games where you're fixating on the way that the games are pacing?
It's movies.
The information.
It's really
it's
all
TV show too.
It's happened to all things: books, TV shows,
Books,
all media.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And do you think that you want to? How do you think that you're going to interpret that into pacing for an improv show? Right? Because, Yeah,
it's honestly, it's a good question, because I noticed it when I was reading a book recently. It was Jim Butcher's son is now an author too, and he's writing a book series. I don't know if I'm like a huge fan of the series, but I noticed I just subconsciously counted how many scenes were in the book. I'm like, this is
nice.
It's like a 9-hour audiobook. I'm like, okay, 9 hours.
How many places did you go to?
How many scenes are there in 9 hours? And I'm like, shit, man, there's like 10 scenes in this whole book, like 9 hours. And I'm like, okay, well, if I break that down into 3 episodes of a show, well, shit. It's like that's it's 3.3 scenes per show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does that feel good? Oops, I didn't mean to show that immediately. But
oh, cool.
I was putting the art up on the screen.
The art up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, the like how many scenes are there in movies? How many scenes are there in all of this stuff? It's just become I don't think it's really like a fixation, but now I just notice it. And I didn't before. I didn't count it at all.
Yeah.
Like, because authors that are extremely verbose, like Brendan Sanderson, I use as an example all the time, or like Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
They write mega long books.
Fucking Williams, bro.
Tell us about that. I don't even know that author. What did they write?
They wrote Otherlands, which was a very cool book, but it took for fucking ever to get for anything to happen. And I'm not bitching because I did really enjoy the book, but it did take forever for anything to really happen. The Dragonborn Chair, which apparently inspired George R.R. Martin to write Game of Thrones. Okay. So it like came out in the 80s, and I decided to read it because like it was on everybody's like this changed fantasy literature when it came out, and everyone should read it. And so I was like, okay, because I'm reading fantasy novels really for the first time in the last couple years, I decided I'd give that a try. And boy, does it take for fucking ever for anything to happen, but do I feel it when it does? Because I am like
a crescendo.
Yeah.
It's like a crescendo.
And not just that, but I really feel like it's somehow still not boring, if that makes sense. It was like slow, but I still was interested in what everyone was saying and the dialogue and all the characters and whatnot. But this motherfucker, this one, as well as, Joe Abercrombie is pro at being like, the crescendo coming up, and then you think this character has fucking died, and then he'd go somewhere else and talk to some other characters for 4 chapters, and you're like, you motherfucker, you better get back to my favorite character right now. Yeah, I'm so upset.
That is a thing that I get really frustrated with. I've told you about this before, but I have a threshold for how many perspectives I am willing to put up with in a story.
Yeah. What is it?
It's
a number?
So I think I have a magic number. Now it can be more than this, but my preference, I feel like, is like 3.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
So Game of Thrones, Wheel of Time. They have 800 perspectives.
Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. I tried with Wheel of Time.
I get so frustrated. It's like, dude, there's only a certain amount of characters that I really give a shit about.
Yeah.
If you start taking me on side quests, because that's what it feels like they are, right?
Yeah.
It feels like side quests. I understand that you want to help establish the setting and the world and all that. That's fine.
But that payoff better be fucking good, dude. Yeah. That like side character that you keep coming back to better come in a very big way, or I'm just going to be like, are you wasting my time? What's happening here? Did an editor not look through this and go, actually, you don't really need this for the story? Some of that I feel like is because of the generation that we grew up in. Like, I think back on like Lord of the Rings, dude. And I think, well, of course he spends 4 pages writing about a mountain, because he wrote in a time in which, there wasn't TV. People couldn't just put on Blue Planet and see what a mountain looks like. Yep. So, and I think that you'd have access to 1 book, or 2 or 3 books a year or something like that. It's the same thing with old school JRPGs. They were so long, and, 120 hours, because you'd get 2 or 3 of them a year, and that was it. And that filled up your whole year. And now it's just like there's so many games coming out, so much access to reading, so many things that you have access to, that I think we're a little bit impatient. And also our society is kind of bred us to be a little bit more on the impatient side with the consuming of, fast media and, other stuff. Our attention spans are shorter. So I have been trying to read those older fantasy books so that I can kind of just experience a slow burn. I'm going to go through the whole book and it's going to be slow, and that's fine. And I'm doing it on purpose to try to just, kind of soak in the world that they're building and retrain my brain to not be like, okay, I need something different every 30 seconds. However, I did start reading Dresden again. And I started from the beginning, except book 1, because I've read that one a couple times.
And it's one perspective.
It's one perspective, and I'm pretty sure there's just bam, 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 thing happens, right? And it's one thing after the other. And man, I hope that he gets his shit together with the ladies, because the werewolf lore is so good, dude. The lore is so fun, but if he says one more dumb thing about fucking tits bouncing, when she's like, well, I'm like, what? What is wrong? No one asked. It's like no one says nothing. Jim Butcher saying something about a woman's tits. Like, bro, that's not, the way that he describes, her tits bouncing as she walks down the stairs. That would be like me describing, my balls slapped blah, blah, blah as you walk down the stairs. That's not, fucking what the fuck, dude? You got some issues, buddy. Oh boy.
It's very dated. It's very dated.
Oh boy.
It gets better over time, but if you think about it, it's 26 years old. It came out in 2000, I think.
Hopefully older than that.
No,
right?
I think it's 2000.
Yeah, you're right, because I think Anita came out first, and hers was 97 or something, right? And hers has issues too, right? She's got some deep-seated misogyny. I'm not like other girls.
Yep.
I'm exotic in Spanish, but extremely pale.
Yep. I'm exotic in Spanish, but extremely pale. Wow. The books can be very dated when you read the older stuff. I mean, and it's a lot of old literature, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets better. It still kind of happens a little bit, but it does sort of fade.
Oh, that's good.
It does sort of fade.
Do you think somebody had to sit him down? Do you think his editor
I think
had to
he
be
got married. I mean, I think he got
Jim,
married, and
do you think, and that settled him down? You don't think anybody had to sit him down and be like, "Yo, buddy, what are you doing?"
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. So first of all, the first 2 books they're basically like drafts that he published.
Yeah.
The first 2 are rough. Whenever, and I've reread the series a bunch of times.
Yeah.
The whole thing. And I always start with book 3. I don't even bother with the first 2. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish book 2, and then hopefully I will feel the same way, because I need to finish that series. I only read the first 3, I think, ever.
They get way better.
Yeah. So that's what everybody says, and I just love the world, so I'm willing to stick it out and give it a try. So.
Yeah, it's very much a breasted boobily down the stairs kind of situation.
Yeah, it's real bad, guys. It's real bad. And just saying stupid shit, and it's like, buddy, you didn't need to say that at all. Please stop.
It's crazy. It's crazy when this stuff happens too, because I read another series, Chaos Seeds: The Land. And it's written.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
So Alaron Kong did this, and the world. It's an isekai. It's effectively they call them lit RPGs.
Yeah. Which I think Dungeon Crawler Carl classifies as. Yeah.
So that I don't know if it is, because it's almost like a reverse isekai.
I meant
situation.
A lit RPG.
Right. I don't know what they classify the shit as these days.
Okay.
But he did this crazy violent scene in one of the books. Super rough. It affected me, and my threshold is way higher than most people.
Yeah.
And it was really graphic and descriptive and horrific torture. And his character gets vengeance, basically.
Oh my god!
On this female character.
Woman, you can say woman.
Yeah.
On this woman.
And she basically he defeats
Yeah.
this person,
Yeah.
and she has a horrific death,
Yeah.
and he's got to notice. He's got to
No.
notice.
No.
Yes.
No.
He's got to notice her
No.
body. Like after he
Oh.
kills this woman, he's got to notice her body. I'm like,
sorry, who is this? Who wrote this?
Alaron Kong.
Okay. Because if I was reading that, I'd be like, oh, that's a red flag. That's a man who wants to do violence to a woman in real life. Like, if you're going to take totally different if you're like, writing a very graphic scene, get it. But if you notice her body afterwards, that's weird, bro. That's weird.
It was
Where's
very
the red flag guy?
It was very like Skyrim-esque almost. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I never played Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, the body's kind of like ragdoll, and they feel like inanimate objects.
Yeah.
And he's describing this woman like an inanimate object at that point.
God.
And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
It was several like red flags.
Yeah.
And what's up, Tiger?
Tiger.
And I was just, it affected me because I'm like, God damn, because it happens like a fair amount. I'll really enjoy a story or like a setting, or I get like really interested in the way that they do magic in a lot of these fantasy books. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool way to do magic. Or I really like the way that they're getting the quote unquote NPCs involved in the situation.
Yeah.
And then that kind of shit will happen. It's why I stopped watching a lot of anime.
Yeah. You have a high threshold, but you're also extremely empathetic. Like, you will be like, man, this scene really kind of bothered me because of the violence on this person or what have you. So it's like you can handle a lot, but boy, it's rough.
Yeah, it's like, why did you bother? Like, there's a lot of that. Like, why did you bother with that? Like, you wrote this awesome story, and then like in like an anime, it'll be like, oh yeah, let's make them flirt with this 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Nani?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Dan to Dan's like that, right? Dan to Dan's.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's good, but also there's trigger warnings. Like, and I rarely say that for anime. And I've got a very thick stomach. I watched some crazy shit when I was like 12, before there was like, Crunchyroll and shit like that. But yeah, Dan to Dan is very much like, oh, okay, cool. Just some sexual violence. Yeesh.
It's gone to the point where I generally won't watch anime unless it's like something really good and like I've seen like it's getting like really good feedback or whatever.
Yeah.
And even then I'll still notice stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, let's toss a vampire maid into the story for no like the story, like RE0 is like it's like really intense, and then it'll just be like a weird fan service moment. And I'm like, were you pressured to do this? Is that why this is in here? Because it doesn't add anything to the story.
Yeah.
Like, why is this person, Can
I ask you a weird question?
Yeah.
Does it make you feel like a lech for watching it then?
A little bit, yeah. It does.
Where you're like, oh, I was really into this and like I've recommended it to people, and then there's this like weird fan service thing in here and now I feel weird. Like, like I didn't really need that. Thanks.
Yeah. Sometimes the story, and I'll be honest about it, sometimes it's good enough that I kind of like compartmentalize it and I'll just let it go.
Yeah.
But it'll still bother me. It'll still be in the background. I'm like, why, guys? Just like, this is such a good story. Just don't include this part. Like, how did this get past the crew? Like, I don't get it. And it happens like a fair amount.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you so much.
Oh yes,
Anonymous for the hundo. Thank you, Aqua
Wow,
Snakes
thank
for the
you.
25.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh, thanks guys. Meanwhile, one of my favorite animes of all time has the most absurd premise, which is a son and his dad. It's martial arts, right? It's a lot of fighting, and it's a lot of really well drawn and animated fight scenes, and I fucking love that shit. But the whole premise is that they go training into some distant springs in China and fall into a cursed spring, where when they get splashed with water, they turn into whatever fell into the spring and died there. And his dad falls into the panda spring, and everyone else, like, you know, there's a character in the show that fell into the spring of the drowned pig and the spring of the drowned goose and all this stuff. And what did he fall into? Spring of the drowned girl. So he turns into a big-breasted female version of himself every time he gets splashed with cold water, and I love it. It's still good, and I like, you know, it's ridiculous, but I'm still very much like, yeah, I love this shit. It makes me laugh.
Rama 1/2.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw bits of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a comedy.
It is.
Type,
but there's a whole character in there that's like an old lecherous man who steals panties from young women. Like, there's some crazy shit in anime where I'm like, I have to be careful who I recommend that to, you know? Like, I don't want to just be like, yeah, this was my childhood.
Yeah. So, I've only been to Japan on a layover.
Yeah.
When I went to Singapore. I think I told you about this, but they have the airport is incredible. The Tokyo airport is incredible. The elevator talks to you when you get on the elevator, and it's just like everything's like super clean, and you get there, and they've got vending machines everywhere.
That is probably the case in all of Japan, but yes, sorry, continue.
And I go to the gate, and there's vending machines there. And they have this crazy fucking vending machine that's there. It has the one of the coolest leather jackets I've ever seen in my life.
In a vending
machine.
That's cool.
And also, in the exact same vending machine, used panties.
Used?
The Tokyo airport. Used panties.
No.
I shit you not.
No.
I swear to God.
No.
I was just like, huh? Am I reading this shit wrong?
Okay.
They are real. They are real. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
In the airport.
Okay.
At the gate.
Okay, I'm digesting this information. Wow, that explains a lot. I feel like. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Other people are confirming. Yep.
Okay.
I think they outlawed it since then. I hope so. It's so crazy.
That's. I mean, huh. I mean, it's strange, but also like if they want to,
whatever floats your boat.
You know,
I guess whatever floats your boat. You know, I'm not trying to kink shame anybody.
Not stealing it from people, you know. But that is a little strange. That's a little strange to see.
At
you
the
know,
airport, which is like I don't know.
Panties.
I don't know why it's like extra strange.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it, you know, like if it was just like, hey, panties, in case, you know, I don't know, you forgot them or you were doing something on the airplane, or, you know, I don't know, you need some panties. Sure, okay, but used panties? I mean, I guess if it's a long flight, you do what you got to do, but Jesus. Yep.
It's that one got me.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I mean, that kind of thing in any kind of like pop culture thing or any kind of media, it's always, you know, maybe it's just the culture, I don't know, but it just feels, it always feels out of place to me. Like there are, I don't know, like I guess you can sometimes justify some stuff in stories, but most of the time it just feels like it was randomly put in there. You know how like executives in Hollywood or whatever will just like add something that shouldn't be in a movie, and they'll just be like
the entire second half of Passengers.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure.
There's a moment in it, and this happens so rarely for me, but I'm watching that and I went, oh, this feels like a producer stepped into the room with us here all of a sudden. And then the rest of the movie felt that way. And I was like, oh, this was just, I bet you the script was entirely different the first run and they had to change it. Because this feels completely out of left field, but in a producery way. Like, we need explosions. We need something.
Yep.
So yeah.
They got like a checklist, you know. The chain of command has like added one more line to the checklist, like each person it goes through, and they're like, do we have any giant cleavage shots? What about just people standing around? Can we have shots of their butts? We're missing that. Can we squeeze that in? This is a I mean, sir, this is the wrong kind of story. This is Aladdin, you know, like, why is that in Aladdin? You know, like, it happens a lot. And I feel like, I don't know if that's the same reason that happens in these days, but if it kind of feels a little bit like that.
I think it's definitely something to consider, especially like when I'm watching a first episode of TV now. I'm always like, there's probably going to be a sex scene or a gratuitous something in here because they need it in their episode 1. So people come back or whatever. And then, you know, so I'm like, I won't judge it too harshly, I guess, as long as it's, you know, makes sense. But you expect to see them now because you know that they're kind of encouraged to put them in there for their first episode 1.
They used to have sweeps weeks, and I don't know if they still exist, but sweeps weeks used to be a thing for series of television. They would have sweeps weeks, and it's like, oh, these are the weeks where we really need to like buff up our numbers. So they would have some like gratuitous sex scene or whatever in the show, and it's like sex sells, and that's where that phrase came from. It was like sex sells, and we have to. Yeah, we need to do it on sweeps week. This is the climax of the plot needs to happen on sweeps week, and we need to have sex in there, and we need to have.
Oh wow!
You know, like it was a big deal. They used to do it all the time. Passenger was meant to be a thriller, but Suits and test audience caused it to be changed. Was meant to end with them dying, and the
Wait,
change
is
the
that
plot.
Real? They did change the plot, dude. You can tell.
Yep.
You can tell. It it has a completely different. It's just changes midway through, and it's like the other thing too is like there's storytelling that's really good, and you follow the storytelling and then you realize the twist before it happens because that's the way they intended it to happen, right? Like some people get upset and are like, yeah, but I saw the twist coming early. And it's like, yes, that's because you are identifying the narrative clues that they put there for you to identify so that when the twist came about, you were like, you know, and yeah, you maybe weren't surprised, but that's because you picked up on the clues that they put there on purpose. They aren't trying to fool you always, you know, they're good storytelling is putting, and in Passengers, they put all these clues in there and then they just completely ignore them but halfway through or like, you know, for the last hour. Or whatever. And it's like, what? They're ignoring their own narrative clues that they put in there? And that's how you can kind of tell that somebody walked in and was like, well, we're just ignoring everything that you did and change it, and I don't care. So, yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
Brad said that basically happened with Final Fantasy 12. Like, it was originally,
really?
it was originally supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
It was originally supposed to be Bosch's. Yeah, it was supposed to be Bosch's story. And they were like, "Oh no, we have to,"
because he's so good.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
and we you know, it would have been a bit essentially a more adult Final Fantasy. You know, we would have been looking at people in their 20s and 30s as the main characters instead of we have to make it a boy 17-year-old. A 17-year-old boy has to be the protagonist. And that was something I always wondered about too. I'm like, why is it and I didn't ask this question when I was a kid. I was like, why is it always a teenager? I'm like, it never occurred to me like, oh, because they're selling the game to this kid.
Yeah.
Every time.
And also like I always felt like Squall and they were older because their sprites looked older. They looked like in their mid-20s or, you know.
Squall
like,
was 18?
Yeah, they were all really young. No, I think Squall was 17 because Quistis was 18, right? She was only a year older than them. But yeah, anyway, it was crazy. But I do remember thinking that as well. Just being like, why is it always, you know, super, super young people that are like 20? And it's like that in RP nowadays when people do like, you know, video game role play or whatever. It's like every single character is like 18 or 20. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to go back there.
I don't want to talk to those people.
Yeah, what? Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah, have you talked to a teenager before? Jesus Christ. And it's
Just
so
do not want to go back there.
It's so like the old person mindset. Absolutely. Just like
Yep.
oh God.
No.
They're just gonna fucking whine about everything.
Yeah, like if I came to myself here and was like, "Hey, do you want to go back in time?" No, I'm good here. Thanks, actually. No, thanks. I don't care what I would change. No, I'm good here.
Yeah. Well, it could also be, the massive amount of trauma.
Yeah.
As well. That could be
but even if I was like, you can change everything, I'd be like, no. I don't want to go through the effort to try to rechange everything. No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good, buddy.
I think about that stuff like a lot because high school was, it was just full of bullies, and if I could retain some of my intelligence going back, sometimes I think about that, because I'm just like, I didn't come, you and Brad talked about this before, where you're like, when did you come online?
Yeah.
And I don't think I came online till in college. Like it took, I felt like an alien. Just like I didn't connect with anything when I was a kid, really, like in depth. Nothing. There was no depth to anything that I was doing until I got to college. And I actually started thinking for myself.
Yeah.
Like none of my relationships with my friends growing up were deep at all. I don't think we had one deep conversation. Not like one.
Did you have a lot of woman friends, or mostly men?
I had a few woman friends.
Because I feel like that's a very sad and very typical experience for male relationships. I've been seeing that
all
recently
hormone
too.
Talk. It was all hormone talk. It
Yeah,
was just like, whoa, she's really hot, and, stuff like that, like stupid,
Yeah.
straight guy.
I've just been seeing a lot of like clips and stuff online where people are like, I don't even know what my best friend does, or when I didn't even know he was married, stuff like that, where they're just not talking to each other, and I'm like, really, you guys don't share anything personal ever? Like what?
It honestly, growing up, yes, that was absolutely the case.
Yeah.
We never talked about anything complicated.
Because you're not allowed to socially, right? Like society doesn't really look kindly on guys sharing their feelings.
So, I mean, when I was a kid, it was a lot of like, that's gay, like that happened all the time. And it was so like, nobody even knew what that meant, like we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. And like, nobody thought about anything with any level of depth. It was just nonsense. And like my day-to-day in high school, it was just existing. That's all it was. It was just existing. What stupid thing are they going to try to teach me in school today that I don't want to hear? I can't wait to get out and play a video game or read a book or do some animation. And even then, like this wasn't in-depth stuff. Like even the stuff that I really enjoyed, like I wasn't looking for depth there. The only time that I started to like first get inklings of anything in depth felt like when I started to look into animation stuff, and I started to look into like cinema, and like I started to actually start to ask questions and read magazines, and like, I really liked special effects. And then I jumped in on it, and it was super uncool. I was so awkward and so uncool and just weird. I was just a weird kid. And I didn't have a personality. I didn't have like an actual personality until I feel like I got to college. And I was like, oh, that person's manipulating me. Or like, oh, this person is nice. Or like, okay, why are they nice? Why are they manipulating me? Is it me? What am I doing? And I actually started to think about stuff. It didn't happen until college.
Yeah.
Do you think it happened with you like really early on, or?
Well, you had me thinking about this. I think this might be one of the few rare instances where my unfortunate, cultish religious upbringing caused me to come online a little early. mostly because in the extreme religious cult environment, they're kind of training you to be like a religious soldier, right? So they're like, you always got to be on guard and blah, 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 and you have to be aware. And so that part of you comes online pretty early.
Don't ever play Far Cry 5.
Yeah. So that part of you comes online early. And then, of course, you know, I do have a brain. So I was oftentimes being at conflict with what I was being told and what I was feeling. And then also, girls are cute and I wanted to kiss a girl. And that changed, you know, that like changed everything. And that happened when I was about like 15, 16. So, yeah, I was like, oh no, but you know, and I will never forget the conversation I had with my mom, which kind of changed everything for me, which was when I said to her, I, you know, and again, this is just my personal experience from my own life. So nobody extrapolate this and take it elsewhere. But the conversation I had with her was like, if I understand this correctly, then, you know, if he knows every single hair on my head, then he created me this way, knowing I would feel this way, and then I would go to hell for it. And that feels awful. And she had nothing to say to it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And I was like, why make me this way then?
Right.
Couldn't he have just not done that to me? You know, yeah. And then, yeah, everything changed from that moment forward for me, where I was just kind of like, this doesn't make sense for me. A lot of, you know, what I was being told didn't make sense. A lot of the, you know, and there's more stuff of like book burning, music you weren't allowed to listen to, you know, all this extra book cult stuff added on top of it, like finances being in control of your schedule and who you spoke to and who you hung out with and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so eventually I was just kind of like, this doesn't feel great at all. And I don't, you know, these people are great. What's wrong with this? And, you know, that kind of stuff. And then eventually being like, you know, I have to eject from this. And so, yeah, I think I came online around 16, 17, due to that, probably. And I probably wouldn't have if I had been allowed to, you know, stay in a bubble where, you know, feel like I was on guard, you know, like I needed to defend myself or what have you. So yeah, I think I came online slightly sooner due to ejected force, but I probably was very angry for many years after that. And there was no room for a personality. It was just trauma anger, right? Where I was like angry and very vocal about religion. And I went full atheist and I would just be like, I hate religion. And I, you know, and it would probably extend out into the people as well. And now I'm just like, have a good day. And, you know, like I know in my heart that there are still very good people that are religious and it doesn't scare me or trigger me out or, you know, make me upset and actually feel the anger. You know, and I can talk about religion with somebody extremely religious from a place of like love and appreciation for them and for the religion. And I say to myself now as an adult, like, I feel like religion got ruined for me. And I actually think it would be very good for me, to be able to have something that, you know, kind of gave me a schedule, maybe not necessarily a religion, but spiritualism, like Buddhism, stuff like that. But I feel like because of what happened to me, it's forever tarred, and I will never really fully be able to immerse myself into, you know, kind of a religion or that kind of structure. And but I am envious of it sometimes a little bit.
When I see, like, it never stuck for me.
Yeah.
When I went to Catholic school for the first 10 years of my life, and, you know, I don't think I remember like any of it. Like, I don't think any of it stuck. You know what I remember when we moved, when I left Catholic school, because it all happened because my mom's car got stolen. My mom's car got stolen. She's like, we're moving. We're not, it's not safe. We're moving. Her car got stolen and she was like, we're moving. And we went to like a rich area. And we basically went to we moved into an apartment complex, poor people in a rich area. And we were like, it was a new experience because now I'm going to public school.
Yeah.
It's a rich public school though.
Yeah.
So it's also different. So I remember the first day of class going in there, in our English class, the teacher was... this is the first time I heard what a pun was at 10 years old. I had no idea what it was. and everybody was talking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Like, everybody's smarter than me here. Like, how did this happen? Like, I just, it was a shock, like a culture shock. I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to be stupid. Like, I'm going to fail. Like, because we came in, we moved in like, there was only like, I don't know how many, like 2 or 3 months left in the year. And I was like, oh, I'm going to fail. Like, there's no way I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be a year behind. And I was so panicked about it. And other than that, I don't remember fuck all from Catholic school. Yeah. Like, I don't remember any of the religious talk. There's religion class. You go to religion class and they teach you all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Have you read the Bible? No.
Yeah.
I didn't read the Bible. What are you kidding me? I didn't read any of that. And it's like, how much of this is just straight up indoctrination? Yeah. And how much is actual learning? Like, I don't know. Because
I'd say it's like probably like 98% indoctrination.
Yeah, something like that.
There's some other learning, but
it was weird. And I just remember, like, I asked my parents, I'm like, why am I going to Catholic school? Oh, because we're Catholic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And the schooling is better. The schools are better than if you go to a public school. And I'm like, okay. And then when I went to public school, I'm like, everybody's smarter than me.
What's happening?
What is this?
I'm gonna fail.
Why is this English class so far ahead of where I was? And like, it was just a really crazy experience. And then I went right into middle school right away. You know, it was like very quick. I only had a few months in this school, and then we went to middle school. I just felt so unequipped for it. It was crazy. We got a bunch of tips. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Frood, for the 25. Thank you, Anonymous, for the hundo. Thank you. Thank you, Shadow, for the 75. Thank you, Rabbit, for the 20. Thank you, Figment, for the 10. Thank you. We the way that the show works generally is very free flowing. We're just unlocking other topics to talk about. We had everybody kind of like chime in with various questions and stuff throughout the week. So we've got them on the screen. Plus, Kujio has been working on the Tablestory bots, been doing all kinds of work. Thank you so much, Kujio, which gave us some like new functionality and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll notice.
Are we showing it off?
I guess we can do that now.
Yeah.
So like, let's see if I can get this working properly. Let's hide that and turn this on. I guess I can put it up here. It's a little bit bigger. I'll try to fit this in the space. But we can post your questions on the screen as well. There we go.
It's so goddamn good. Yo, it looks so good.
Yeah. And we can like resize that a little bit. I didn't have too much time to play with this.
No, that looks great.
But,
yeah.
Thank you so much to Kujio for
when Brad is here. When Brad is here, it literally can go right next to one of the non-efforts. Oh. Yeah, no, I meant. It's good. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. So we got some new bot functionality, and you'll notice we also have the episodes. When the episodes post to YouTube, they're also getting automatically added. Thank you so much, Kujio.
Which means you'll actually get notified when shit gets posted to YouTube for one of my shows, because I don't do that. I'm like, you either subscribe on YouTube. I'm not posting the notice in the Discord. I'm just not doing it. But Brad and Whack are both very good at that. So yay, thanks, Kuj.
Thank you, Kujio, for taking the option away from Pumpkinberry. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I guess we'll hop into our first question, but first.
But I wanted to talk to you about books some more.
We can. Let's talk about books more. There's no pressure.
Okay. You said you were currently reading something, but I was like, what would be your top 3 recommendations? Because I went off my meds and stopped reading, and then recently just was able to finally get back into reading again. I think I'm reading Project Hail Mary, I'm reading Dresden, and then I'm reading this other book called Less. I think it won a Pulitzer. And the writing style is very strange, but I like it a lot. But I like your taste in books, so I would like some recommendations, please.
Okay.
Okay.
I have
Let me get out my stack of tomes.
So you are a lot better with a lot of different genres, and I tend to get sort of stuck into stuff that I like.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I don't do a lot of exploration, and I should, but I get, this is just my bullshit.
It's your off time. There is no should, Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What do I got?
Because you sent me that manga that was really, really good as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I plowed through that in 2 days.
That was really good too. I haven't finished that yet, but I was enjoying that. I try not to look at like screen, so that's the only reason why I haven't continued to plow through that one. I'm trying to use my Paperlight reader or an actual physical book. I'll go down to the independent bookstore and grab a book. Trying to slow down in analog. Yeah, go for it.
So
I'm ready.
My favorite, I've got a few that I'm long series. That's what I tend to do a lot, is like I'll find a series and it'll just be super long. I have really been enjoying, obviously, Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
There's a series by Ryan Rimmel called Noobtown, which is...
I think I heard about that, actually.
It's an isekai. It's a lit RPG. It's very silly. Imagine if Aaron got into an isekai.
Oh, that's amazing. I must immediately read this.
If Aaron wasn't in an isekai,
yeah,
I feel like that is the perfect encapsulation of what the story is.
Okay.
Very silly, funny.
Yep. Yeah.
A little stupid.
Yeah. But then also he kicks serious ass.
Yeah, and also very lovable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I have also been reading.
He's working on a game, Figment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And He Who Fights with Monsters is...
Oh, did I hear about that too?
Another isekai. That one's really good. That one, so like sometimes I'll have favorites and they just appeal to me for being silly or whatever, and it's just like a good escape. He Who Fights with Monsters is very, very interesting because it makes me think about how the universe works, in that it can be something very weird and still kind of make sense. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm trying to phrase this in a certain way, but it's essentially an isekai magic.
Yeah.
Here's levels, here's a magic world. The main character is extremely arrogant. Like a lot of the stereotypical kind of like adventure stuff, like dumb main character.
Yeah.
This character is extremely clever, extremely arrogant, and very charming and funny. And the power escalation is really interesting, is what I'll say. It makes me think about like how silly physics could be if certain things happened.
Interesting.
I've had a few pieces of media that are stupid, just stupid, like hero type stuff, but it'll make me think. Like, all of our reality is effectively created by our perceptions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Our brain moves at a certain pace. Our vision moves at a certain pace. We have these senses, and this is how we determine our reality. What happens if we don't have these senses? What happens if we have a different sense that we just don't understand?
Yeah.
And how much that affects our reality. Like time is effectively based on our perceptions of reality.
And gravity.
Yeah.
Time would be completely different if our gravity was different, which is crazy to think about. Like, what? So
it's like, what if the universe, what if physics is the way that it is because that's the way that someone else interpreted it, and our entire universe is in that person's perception.
Yes, yeah,
and it just trickles
the
down.
observation effect almost.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like they made a definition of it, and then everyone was like, "Oh, okay," and then it
Not
kinda
even like a
narrowed down.
science thing, but the reality is shaped by their perceptions, and it trickles down into our existence. And like it's like another stupid movie, but like Quantum Mania for Marvel. Everybody hates the movie.
Yeah,
It's like
I've not seen it.
But Ant-Man as a concept, the hero, shrinks down to the quantum realm. They go past a certain point, and the quantum realm is essentially its own universe. And it just made me think, I'm like, oh well, there's just all these universes everywhere. You know, like if you think about that, it's like, oh well, you know, on this die, there's a universe. You know, like, oh shit, you know, and I just toss it, and their perception of the universe is completely different. What happens if their perception of the universe is so much faster than ours that by the time I throw this die, they've already gone through billions of years? You know, like, what if that's the kind of stuff that like really throws
Oh man,
me for a loop.
I love that train of thought, because too, you could then go, well then what is fortune telling for that individual, for that being? It seems like magic to us. It seems like they're seeing the future, but to them it's like, no, you rolled the dice and I saw you know, like it's already hit the table. You know? So yeah, that's super fun too.
So
I love that stuff.
That series makes me think about that.
Cool.
It's generally it's very good. I really like that series.
And that's He Who Fights with Monsters, right?
He Who Fights with Monsters, the long series. It's also Australian, which I kind of just like having an Australian perspective.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. Because I don't really consume that much Australian media. Reading A Hero's Choice. Or no, I'm Not the Hero.
I Am Not the Hero. I've definitely heard of that one.
Not the Hero. This is a story about someone that does not want to be the main character. They don't want to be the main character.
Yeah.
And they effectively, it's an isekai. They don't want to be the main character. They're, because of that, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm also reading.
Is it like they don't want to be the main character, and the way that the book or the story approaches it is like that's a shirking of responsibility, or is it really, or is it approached?
Different powers, basically different powers that the main character wouldn't normally have.
Oh, cool. I like that. That's fun.
What's the name of this series? Arcane Ascension. I'm reading. A lot of people don't like that. It's kind of interesting because it feels like the character is neurodivergent and like asexual.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a different take. You know, usually we get a lot of like romantic things that happen in a lot of these kind of adventure stories or heroic stories, and he just he's like not really interested in it.
Nice.
What else?
And which one is that?
Arcane Ascension.
Arcane Ascension. Okay.
Interesting magic in that one too. I really like that. Interesting magic. That's not an isekai. That's just it's just a fantasy story. I'm also reading Mark of the Fool by J.M. Clark.
Is that with an E?
Clark with an E. Yeah. Mark of the Fool is another fantasy story. And another sort of like interesting approach to magic. It's a little bit like a magic university kind of story. With somebody that gets put in like really horrible circumstances and kind of has to power through.
I think he was saying, Christine, that they're like long series. So
Yes,
he's
yes.
like, he's telling you which series that he's reading. So it takes time for, you know, that book or the new manga to come out.
I devour stuff.
Yeah.
I destroy
reads
these
a lot.
books in days.
Yep. I was impressed, to be honest. Yeah, you should be. He reads a lot. We should ask Whack more questions about what he's reading all the time.
Well, it's a lot of series. I get stuck on these series, and then like when I get caught up, That's
Yeah.
usually when I'll look for a new one. you
Yeah,
know?
when you're like, okay,
I'm
time
like,
to find a
shit,
new one.
I gotta
You
wait
binge the whole
3
thing.
months. I gotta
Yeah.
wait 4 months for another book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's usually what happens. Anything else? What's the name of it? Alex
This
Virus?
fucking smooth jazz whack is killing me, dude. What is happening here?
It's Twitch safe. It's a Twitch safe playlist. We can't. Do you want me to switch this?
No, I just think it's hilarious that two millennials are sitting here having a conversation in a fucking, Olive Garden restaurant, basically, with this whatever the fuck music is playing.
It's just a lo-fi Twitch safe playlist. That's all. I just grabbed something and put it on.
Yeah.
The Alex Virus series. That one is Dresden-esque.
Ooh, what's it called?
Alex Virus.
Alex Virus. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was directly inspired by the Dresden Files. He makes like a few references to it, like in the story.
I like it when authors do that, when they're like nodding at, taking a wink, and hopefully maybe the wink is like, I ran down the stairs with my balls, like jiggling.
my balls ballsing down the ballsy stairs.
Yep, my balls bouncing ballily.
God, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in like the immediate list right now. There's more. Some of them I don't like. Oh, this was a good series. I think I want to reread this soon. What is the name of this series?
I used to do that a lot when I was younger. Like, I'd find a series that I really liked and I'd happily reread it. Like Animorphs was very good. But yeah, I don't really do that so much nowadays.
The Lightbringer series. And this is
that's not Sanderson.
No, this is by Brent Weeks. Imagine it's almost like Batman combined with not Star Wars.
Okay, you've got me anyway.
I had like a good reference for this. It's almost like the Force from Star Wars combined with Batman.
Okay.
Okay. It's crazy.
I will give that a look-see.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that series a lot. Been a while since I read that. It's got to be like mid 2010s, somewhere around there, I think.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed that series a lot. And Jim Butcher started another series.
Did he?
Yeah, this one I like a lot. It's very different from Dresden. Cinder Spires.
Cinder Spires. Is it fantasy?
It is steampunk fantasy. It's very good. Yeah, I'm enjoying that one quite a bit.
Okay. Cool.
Very, very different from Dresden.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I've been going off on my books forever.
I literally asked, so it's all good.
I read a lot, and I read a lot of manga and manhwa as well. Stupid amount. Every night before I go to bed, I read.
I need to be doing that too, but I was doing so well, you guys, and I will do well again. But coming off my medication, I think because my meds were very specifically targeting dopamine, it's like I had a really hard time focusing on the book or reading, and I was like reaching for Instagram. And so now I'm like, no, play the Bazaar instead of Instagram because it's better than that, and it'll still give me that dopamine hit. And so, but I am getting to the point now where I'm like, man, I want to read first thing when I wake up for 20 minutes at least, and 20 minutes before bed, because it just feels like a great way to, kind of unwind and get under the covers with a, cup of tea or something. And just
I do an hour before sleep every night.
That's such a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna do that. This week, starting tonight, I'm doing an hour before bed, guys. I'm setting an alarm. I'm gonna do it.
One manga or it's manhwa. I think it's Korean. That I did not expect to have as much depth. It's at first glance, it looks, this is gonna be dumb.
Yeah.
And at first, it kind of is.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know how far in, maybe like 5 chapters in, I'm like, oh shit, this is actually kind of deep, and it's kind of intense. Surviving the game as a barbarian. Sounds stupid, and it looks dumb at the beginning, but oh shit,
Okay.
what the fuck? It gets better. It gets better than the beginning. And intense, and it makes me think about our shows a lot, and I'm like, why is this so intense, and why, why do they pace things a certain way? And I've been thinking about that just a lot more, is like pacing and like how many scenes there are and all that stuff.
You know what had like perfect pacing? And I read it last summer, I think. Well, two books come to mind immediately. One is Lies of Loch Lamora, which is very much a D&D game, very roguey, awesome. The second one is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. That was a D&D game. And it really felt like it, and it felt magical, and the pacing was fucking perfect. And I just, wow. Yeah. Both of those were very good. And I do think that The Devils is the beginning of a new series. Like, that was book one. The way that it ends, kind of like, it's very satisfying, has an end, but leaves it open to the next. Yeah.
I am making note.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. I do get like stuck in my ways with a lot of this stuff, and I do need to be better about like reading stuff that I wouldn't normally choose.
Yeah. I think you'd like The Devils, at least. It feels very D&D, but it's not super high fantasy, but I think you'd like it.
I also, sometimes I'll get sold on a series just because I like the narrator, like the audiobook narrator.
Oh, the audiobook for The Devils is very good. It's the same guy who did his other stuff, and it made me, start to try other narrators. Yeah, he's very good.
I will definitely check it out. Okay, so let's get to some questions because I can
PB
ramble.
and Whack talk about books.
I can ramble about it forever. Our first question comes from, and this is a multi-part.
By the way, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Our first question comes from, and this is a series of questions from April Rain. Player versus guest player / GM. It's fun. It's been fun getting surprised by one-shot guest players or guest GMs in the last few shows. Is this more work or less work for you as the GM?
What do you think?
The answer usually is it's always more work.
It's always more work. Yeah.
Whenever we do anything like, oh, this is so cool, it's usually a shit ton of work. That's usually the way that it goes. It's kind of the default. Anything that's like unorthodox or like breaking the normal show setup, it's a lot of work usually. There's a reason.
You still have to produce too. Yeah.
There's a reason why like the longer running shows are way easier to run usually. It's because we don't have to do as much work to make something happen unless we're doing something really unorthodox.
Yeah.
Like how much
agree with that.
How much work went into like bringing in some guests for Dumb, because you're bringing in a lot of guests for Dumb.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I'm approaching the whole show in a pretty, in a different way, in that there are micro stories. I'm approaching it like an X-Files show, like a serial, right, or a Monster of the Week, where there's like a new mystery for them to solve over a couple of episodes. It's like an insane amount of work, because normally I would have one mystery and let them go and sandbox and they can just do whatever, but it is an insane amount of work, so much so that when I was initially putting Dumb on the table as concept, I was like, oh, I feel pretty confident I can run Dumb and then something else, but we'll see how it goes, because I want to be running probably around 2 shows. There's just not enough time in my life to be able to do all the cool things I want to do. I cannot while running Dumb. It's too much. It is so much work, and it's to the point where it's like the other thing that I run has to be like impossibly low, which effort. I don't think there's anything that I would want to run nothing
Tablestory runs
as low effort as it would need to be for me to be running
this show.
Yeah, exactly, something like this. But it is one of those shows where I was like, I knew going into it that I wanted to be trying something different. I'm also very narrative focused, so it feels very strange to me to basically introduce something, have it tied up in the first, in the first one shot or a couple of episodes, and then move on narratively from it. It feels weird. It's weird for me to get used to. I'm struggling a little bit with it, if I'm honest, where it's just kind of like, oh, well, I don't know where to take them next. I could just introduce something new, like a new mystery, but it feels like too many things are piling on top, and I need to give them time to simmer and let their characters develop. And, stuff that I would normally do or see by now hasn't happened yet because they haven't had time to really like sit and exchange with each other, but that's done by design, so it's really weird. And I'm just kind of like, well, it's episode 18, we should know more of their backstories by now, but also that's not really kind of what we were going into with the show. And I have to remind myself that, like, okay, this is kind of done this way by design, so just let it sit, bitch, calm down. But it is very against what I would normally do in terms of like running a show. But yes, it's in terms of bringing a guest on, you got to have somebody that's, like, first of all, available. And then a lot of these guests that
you have to brief them.
You have to brief them. And also, well, sort of, you brief them on kind of like the show and stuff like that. But you also kind of, at least the way that I'm approaching it to make it easier on myself and them, is that they get to solve the mystery as well. They're not there as a piece to, I'm not giving them a task to get completed so that the players can solve a thing or whatever. They know what they know, then they come in, and then they also get to solve the mystery.
They're not just a quest giver.
They're absolutely not a quest giver. They are a player in the piece. They have some information, and sometimes they don't realize that the information they have is integral to the piece, but, stuff like that. Or, in the case, I've got to be honest with you guys, I was sick. I asked Orcish if he was free. I was like, I am very unwell and I need you to come in here and help me. Just play a character that has energy that I do not have as a GM this week. And so he came in with this absurd character and killed it. He destroyed it, guys. Like, I was pissing myself laughing. But then it's like, we didn't quite conclude whatever it was that we were doing. So will you come back again next week? And a lot of these people that I'm asking, come on, work during the day, like Trench. So it's like a situation of Trench was like, I'm home from work today. And I went, oh, you're just in dumb now today. If that's cool with you, because like normally I wouldn't get to have you on the show otherwise. So yeah, it's a lot of that, or, seeing if people are free for
stuff is
the scheduling, man, because it's like, are you free today, but also maybe potentially for 2 more weeks, because I have no idea if they're gonna wrap this up in time, it's crazy. So yes, it's a lot more work. To answer your question, it is a lot more work.
It's so much work when you are, I did this with like main character, but when you are sort of plotting with one of the players in some way to like sort of have them control certain aspects of things, you have to do a lot of communication, a lot. And it's like, okay, should I do this, should I do that, and a lot of times I'll have to give a yes or no, or no, you can't, because that kind of a situation, or something that they have that's like really good improv wise just will completely wreck your plan for like what you want to do with the story or whatever. And it's not their fault. There's only so much you can communicate. But it's like, it's extra challenging. All of that stuff is extra challenging. High level stuff that I wouldn't necessarily recommend to first-time GMs.
Yeah, definitely not.
You need a lot of experience to kind of like give up the reins a little bit and just kind of like, I don't know, like give over some of your control, especially from a table story perspective.
Yeah. Like if you're running like a standard D&D table, where you just have somebody come in as like an adventurer or something, or even if you were running a show and it was just like they stop at a tavern at the end of every episode and then somebody comes along with them to the next stop, like almost like those hiking trips you can go on. I don't see anything wrong with that. That seems fine, because then you've just got somebody on your party, along for the ride. But if you've got somebody coming in to play like a known figure, or an NPC that has some information, et cetera, then that gets a little tricky because, you know, they're coming in to play somebody that's representing the plot and the story. And, you know, yeah, you have to be willing to just be like, whatever they say, I'm going to have to interpret that and play with that and make that work, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that can be tricky.
It's, when you do these shows
Mm-hmm.
and you've got 2.5 to 3 hours to tell your story, and you have a rough idea of how long you want a show to go.
I never do that.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah.
But like you've got a somewhat
Mm-hmm.
rough approximation of how long you want a show to go.
Mm-hmm.
You have a limited time that you can tell the story, and like you have to think about what aspects of the story are going to be told. And like what is manageable, what's the right balance of how much exposition do I want? How much do I just want to let the players just fucking go and do whatever they want? Because there is a balance. You can't do like one or the other. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't work that way. You have to set the scene a little bit. You have to have a little bit of exposition. You know, you can just let the players go, and that's great for certain shows, but it's usually a pretty specific kind of case. And again, you can definitely do it, but it's like you have to find a balance usually. So it's whenever you add more chaos to these shows, it's the stress level like skyrockets. It's a lot. Did you plan this in your storyline or all improv? Being on standby must be really stressful because you don't know what the party is doing.
Yes. At least in the case of Dumb, they don't have to know anything. They don't have to watch the show. Orcish has not seen a single fucking episode of the show.
Yeah, he's
you know,
a
like
scumbag.
piece of trash. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. And so like they, you know, I try to plan it that way so that they don't have to be watching and they don't have to know what the party is doing. And if you think about it, because it's role play, they shouldn't have to. They don't need to. They're playing a character that hasn't been with the party. So they don't need to know anything unless it's that they're delivering something crazy, you know, like if they're giving you info or, you know, what have you. But Orcish, I, you know, played this character archetype on an episode of Deathless, and that's what I did. I reached out to him and I was like, oh, that character that you had, that like conspiracy theorist, I need that person in the show today, because I, you know, like either or there. And this is what I told him, and I know Orcish very well. He's a very good role player, so it's easy for me to just go and say to him, like, he doesn't need to know where the players are at. Here's what I told him. I said, I feel narratively one of two things has to happen. It has to be fucking funny and we're pissing our pants, or you have to draw out their backstory. And you'll know the vibe when you get in there, and we'll just figure it out as we go. And we went with fucking piss your pants funny, and it was perfect. It was great. It was exactly what we needed. But yeah, I think there was a little tiny bit of the backstory too anyway in the end. But yeah, it was great. So is it all improv? No, it's not, because we will occasionally go, this would be a good spot to have a guest come in, or this is a neat spot. Like, I know Whack will look at that and think and go, okay, now we're going to switch to Moon. Now we're going to do this. Like, this is a good moment where we go and go with the other character. Like, if you're looking at it like it's a TV show or a book that has multiple character perspectives, but at a maximum of 3, when does it switch, you know, like that kind of thing. So the only thing I think we both Whack and I stress about is if we've invited a guest, we want to get them in there, you know, like I don't want them sitting on the call for half the episode and only in for the second half. If I think that's going to happen, I'm very particular about who I ask to come on, because I know they won't care. I'll know they'll be, you know, Meyer will be playing a game on another screen and he doesn't care, you know, like that's fine. You know,
he's in Star Citizen doing a stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very, very particular about who I ask for that, because I don't want, you know, they're there to play, you know, they're not there to necessarily just be a story prop for you. Right. So I definitely want them to come and have fun with everyone. So I do try to get the guest in the screen as quickly as I can, or involved as quickly as I can. Only in very rare cases where it's like a surprise at the end, twist end. And even then, I don't know if I've ever actually done that before. I've thought about it, but I think I try to introduce them at, there've been situations where they come in, slightly before the end as like a cliffhanger before the next episode. But I feel like that's incredibly rare if I've ever done that. I may have only ever thought about it and then went, I'm not doing that to anyone. That's crazy. But
Except for Trooper.
Yeah. That was not my fault. Okay. First of all, that was not my fault. Second of all, I messaged him. I was like, you come in now. And he just didn't. He was like, no, I feel like it's better if I don't do that. And I was like, bro, there are 10 minutes left of the episode now. But he came in at the right time. And also Trooper doesn't care, but also like I care, I don't want him to be out the whole episode. And yeah, we knew that we were going to do the JRPG moment of he's out of your party and then rejoins during the final boss fight, right? So we knew that, but I had him coming in that second round immediately. I was like, yeah, just come on in. And he was like, no, I want a better moment. And then he was like, I think it'd be cooler to wait to get to the second stage of the fight. And I was like, bro, that's like, I'm not even sure if that's going to happen. And yeah, it was crazy. I was like, Trooper, I'm going to kill you. I love you, but I'm going to kill you because now you make me look like a terrible GM that is just having you sit here for the entire episode. But he was right. And I said so afterwards. I was like, you're right. I was wrong. Narratively, it was way cooler. And he was fine. He was like, yeah, I liked it. It was fun. But man,
this is just the guilt that we feel during the show.
Yeah.
It's like we're wielding like massive power effectively of who's on the screen at any given moment, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time nobody gives a shit. They're like,
I know.
They're like, oh, I get to watch today? Cool. Like that's what happens.
There's that one fucker watching that's like, wow, if I were Troop, I'd feel real bad. And you're just like aware of that as a GM, and you're aware of what it looks like for pacing and all this other crap. And it's like, it's a finale. So, it's going to run like 30 to 40 minutes, maybe over. Sometimes I think I'm pretty good at nailing a finale where I'll be like, okay, we're going to end at this time. But for the last couple, for those, the 3 shots or whatever, I'm like, it may go a little bit later, guys, because like, we want to make sure we wrap it up. Yeah, so appropriately. But yeah.
Doing those short run shows is so brutal, Chad.
Yeah, you want to make sure. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really, really, really hard. Like if you were going to ask me, PB, what should I run first? To run a fucking campaign without an end date, like do that before you run something that you're like, only 3 sessions, guys.
Standard shit. Just run standard shit.
Just run standard shit. And my answer is always, it's a long like if I'm asking somebody if they want to be a part of a new show, like for Dumb, for example, I'll be like, this is going to be my new long form show, which basically means I don't really have an end date in mind. We'll know it when we get there. Like we'll feel when it's time to start moving towards the end, and then we'll go in that direction. And that's, kind of what it was with Gone even too. That's what I told him. I was like, we'll know when it Nocturne as well. We'll know when we get there. And then Nocturne, unfortunately, I think we ended a little early just because it was like we were about to come into a month where like someone would be gone. Right. I think CK was going to be gone for a whole month, and then just other people were going to be gone, and then it was like there was no way for me to get everyone together to get us to the end. So it was like, oh, okay. And it kind of happened suddenly. So we were like, okay, so I've got like 2 episodes to just take us to the end. So we kind of had to do that.
It happens sometimes where it's just scheduling will kind of abruptly change for whatever reason, and you kind of will have to try and like wrap some stuff up. It happens.
That's nobody's fault. It's just like, just scheduling.
Scheduling is the craziest part of all of this. No matter what we complain about at any given moment, I guarantee you scheduling is the worst. Yeah. And it's nobody's fault. It's just everybody's got shit to do. And
you're just juggling a bunch of lives,
Yeah. And the more people you have on a show, the more schedules you have to deal with.
Yep.
So doing a show like Gone, schedule for that is crazy.
The other crazy thing about Gone was that I, like, from Nocturne, we had people regularly gone. And so, lol, we had people that were regularly missing just because of lives and conventions and stuff like that. And so we do one shots, and that like made Nocturne so sweet, and I loved it. And so for going into Gone, I was like, I'm going to plan with that in mind, with like people going. And
everything's going to be the same.
Yeah. And then I'll bring these, you know, I'm not going to say backup, but, you know, like, because I don't want to spoil Gone either. The second set of people, I'll just have them be regularly available and in to fill when the, you know, those main 3 people are gone, or, you know, something, whatever. And then COVID hit and nobody was going anywhere. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll just have 9 players then.
Batshit crazy.
Yep.
So just a little bit of background info for people. For Legends of Oscara, the way that I cast the show was I did effectively an open casting inside of our private Tablestory server. So like I just I was like, hey, listen, this is kind of what I'm doing with the show. It's going to be very open-ended. It's going to be very long. This is going to be a very long show. But if you want to hop in and hop out, that will be a thing you can do. So I gave everybody like a heads up for that. The idea with Legends of Oscara is that it's going to be potentially we might see some people hop out for periods of time, or we might have different arcs. So when
I kind of love that, man. Like seasons of, you know, adventures where you're following a group of adventurers and then it maybe switches, or I'm so into it, guys. I'm so into it.
It's a thing where I'm just like, I'm gonna do things differently. So when I approached the show, I thought about each element that I was putting into the show. So first and foremost, for the beginning, I'm kind of fudging it a little bit, but the idea is this is XP. It's not milestone.
Yeah.
So if people are gone, they're not getting XP for that. So there'll be different levels throughout the course of the show.
Super fun.
And I'm kind of copying the way that we did Oracle's Rest for it. So it's like
Oracle's Rest is a good format, man. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much.
And you know, I wanted to have like okay, these are the people that are going to be, you know, the core for the beginning of the show or what have you, and you know, it might change over time. I'm just kind of keeping an open mind, and we'll see how that goes. But there's a thought process to all of this, is what I'm getting at. Like PB had to go into this with a plan for how to handle Dumb, and how to organize everything. Same thing with Gone. We have to approach this with a plan in mind when it's not like standard.
Only having 4 people because I knew I was going to have a guest, right? Instead of the 5 and the 6. Yeah. So going in with that in mind. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, a lot of plans have to be made for this kind of stuff. It's a massive effort. Allowing players to be a temporary player. Pros and cons. What are the pros and cons?
I don't know. The saxophone's got me, man.
I'm really happy with this playlist. I love it.
Okay, sorry. I got so distracted by that saxophone.
It's so good.
It's very good. Let's see. Allowing players to be temp players, pros and cons. I mean, I guess I can think of one pro.
Okay.
One pro is that you might be able to have people that you wouldn't normally be able to have because they can only be available for a set number of weeks. And a lot of times, you know, you might have to pass on a potential cast member because they're going to be gone for long blocks of time. You know, they have lives or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we can't be down that many people. But, you know, with WAC designing a show with that in mind, then it's like, you know, I get to approach him and be like, hey, man, I've wrapped my 3-shot, I've done, whatever, and I'm free for 4 weeks. Like, like I would love to come and be, a part of the show, and then that's suddenly possible, or so that's a huge pro, I think. And also allowing people the freedom to, when they feel like they might be in burnout from a long show, they can just like step away and then come back with full energy and whatnot. It is a lot of work. It is a huge commitment. It's a lot of work, and your whole life, we're very lucky that predominantly our players will like rearrange their lives for the show. So, it's a lot to ask when a show goes for a full year, if not longer. And so I do think that there is a huge pro there in that. A con is that group cohesion might be an issue. Yep. Like, I feel like it's really good to maybe be like, sure, we're going to let people hop out, but for those first 4 core weeks, we don't think anyone should miss an episode, because you guys really need to kind of like cement, so that when you come back and it's fine. If you're asking if you're asking Orcish fine. Like, he knows all these people. He'll come in. He knows everybody. He's very comfortable. But, if you're asking people that haven't really had a chance to play together before, then it gets a little weird if they're hopping out and hopping in, and they might feel a little left out, or they might feel, like they've FOMO'd, missed out on a whole mini arc, that kind of stuff. And so I think coming into it with that in mind too, you have to kind of approach like, okay, do I end the arc with these characters and then start a new arc with different characters, with different players? Like there's just weird stuff that I think would go into my brain as I was planning, to kind of account for those pros and cons. But those are the first ones that come to mind for me, Wack. I don't know about you.
I think those are good.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, the pros of having people come in is it can refresh things. Like that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
When you have a guest or somebody come on, it can sort of get everybody excited again.
Yeah.
It's like, it's typically, I mean, if you watch any series or anything on television, season 1, you're going to have the same characters throughout all of season 1. Then they might introduce a new character in season 2, or multiple
and it's like
characters.
1 or 2.
Or somebody dies or something at the end of season 1, and it's like, we've got this gaping hole in the cast now. And everybody's kind of dealing with it, and maybe like after an episode or 2 of this show, maybe we have a new person come in, there's a reason they do that stuff. It's to revitalize things. Plus, people have like shit going on in their lives. They might also just not be able to do the show anymore, like PB said.
Yeah.
And hopping out or whatever is kind of the only thing that they can do. And you don't want to like, a lot of times you're like, I don't want to end the show now, but it also really sucks that this person's got to leave. What am I going to do? I could bring somebody in, or I can just leave the cast as it is and, see how the dynamics change or whatever. But in general, I think like having somebody come in is really good for just like a morale boost, or just to get people excited about different possibilities. Con wise, it's a lot of work. I mean, that's the big one for me. All this stuff is massive amounts of work. Getting somebody just kind of like acclimated, because to me, that's like a big thing. Like, I hate having people sort of suffer through like, I don't know the system, or I have to learn the character sheet, or all that stuff. It's one I always feel bad for that guest if they come in and they have no idea where anything is on the character sheet, or, they don't really know what's going on with the system. And I can see they feel bad for asking and like breaking the moment or whatever. And they have to just like, I guess I have to figure this stuff out now on stream and try to improv at the same time.
Yeah.
It can be a lot. So
I always give a character sheet buddy.
A character sheet buddy? You mean like a little guide?
Like, well, no, like somebody in the cast who is helps in control of the sheet, or will roll for the guests, so that they don't even have to have a sheet at all. Right, I have one, but they don't have to do any of the rolling if they don't want to.
That's a good idea. It could potentially just be kind of annoying if you don't know the mechanics or whatever, and you feel like, I gotta stop this. This is like a good scene. I don't want to like interrupt with like, so how does this work? And it's like, it can just be awkward. So that can be annoying. Those are my big pros and cons. Your thoughts on jumping on a show as a guest player and GM? Do you love, hate, or are you indifferent about it?
I love guest hopping on because I do take being on a show incredibly seriously. So I am one of the ones that will rearrange my life and basically be like, so then on Friday nights, I'm doing nothing else for the rest of my life unless my leg is broken. And then even then I probably won't tell them.
Unless I'm hit by a
kind of
car.
thing.
I will do it anyway.
I'll try to do it anyway. And then Whack will have to be like, sit the fuck down. You're not doing this, you know? Still can't believe that I fought you on that. Cannot believe it. And then do you remember the text I sent you like from the couch? Like an hour after the show would have started, me being like, oh, thank God you told me to do this because I can't feel my body right now. Like my whole body is stiff. You know, it was, thank you for convincing me to do that. For those who don't know the story real quick, during Gon's run, I did get hit by a car and I tried to run an episode the same day. And Whack had to be like, no, I will shut the stream down somehow. I will stop this from happening.
Go to the hospital.
I did go. Yeah, but I had come home from the hospital and was like, so I'm fine. I'm fine to run an episode. It's no big deal.
Hey, listen, I was like, I've had family members that got in car accidents. You might, it's all adrenaline.
Yeah, it's all adrenaline. That's what he said. Yeah.
As soon as you like settle down a little bit, it's gonna hit. Like it's not good. And
to be fair, like I had already gone to the hospital and like I was home and I was like, I'm still good to run the episode.
Trying to justify your insanity.
Listen, it was insane. It was the adrenaline was off, bro. I was feeling it, but I had 9 players and it was a very crazy episode and I didn't want to let them down. I'm not kidding you. That was what I was feeling. I was like, I can't let them down. There's 6 of them ready for today. Some of them probably like have been thinking about this episode for weeks. And so then Whack had to be like, no. So yeah, there was that. But yeah, I love being a guest as long as I, if I'm coming in with something very important or very important lore, then, obviously I take that very seriously. If I'm coming on to GM, and I think we've always had this kind of like unspoken thing where if I really couldn't do an episode of Dumb, I could ask Whack to come in and do something and he would do it. And we would all do that for each other. But the opportunity really doesn't come up because, we're also like, try hard. But I think we absolutely would feel comfortable doing that for each other as long as it was a situation where I didn't feel like I was messing up his world lore. So it would be like, his players are trapped in some coliseum and I get to be this arrogant, absurd person that is in a closed environment where I can't fuck up any lore, like they're trapped in the pit in Star Wars, and they're now fighting and all I'm doing is running combat and having fun for a couple of hours to make sure the show is still in the same time slot. You guys still have something to watch and, Whack gets to, go to this appointment or do whatever, or, whatever the case may be. Or if I'm really sick or if I'm going to go visit my nephew, I could say to Whack, like, just run an episode of Dumb and I don't care what you do because it'll be stupid. It'll be so good. And
I don't care what you do. It's going to be stupid.
No, but I mean in a good way, in a dumb way. It'll be so absurd. It'll be, like you would kill it on a Dumb episode. But yeah, I just think I think my preference obviously is to come on as a guest player because I feel like I can support, if Whack tells me the party has to know this, then I'm like, cool, got it. I will find a way to deliver that. But obviously coming on as a guest GM is a lot more work and it's a world that you have to be very delicate with. And we all take each other's work very, very seriously. We all admire each other very much and we don't want to mess it up for each other. And so I think that pressure is very high versus being a player where we can come in and we still, take that responsibility very seriously, but it's obviously much different as a GM. At least that's my take on it. Yeah.
I have, in terms of being a guest player or a GM, do I love, hate, or feel indifferent about it? Mm-hmm. I think I feel generally kind of indifferent. I'm more inclined to do it just to help whoever needs it. I think I feel kind of the same way where it's like I don't want to mess up what's going on the show.
Yeah.
So as long as I can feel like I can do that, where I'm not screwing anything up, or I'm not, like as long as it's still an interesting episode, then I think I'm generally like happy with that. But it's not like something I love to do. I don't want to like hop in and take over anybody's shit. It's I mean, even when Brad had me do like the episode of Side Quest, I'm like, are you sure you want me to do this? I was like, what are my guidelines? Like, what do you how hard do you want me to go with this? That kind of a thing. That's always a big concern, because I know how much work goes into these shows. I know exactly how much work goes in. The last thing I want to do is fuck it up. So it's usually incredibly stressful. Where it's like, oh, if it's my show, I still don't want to do it. I still don't want to mess anything up, but like there's less pressure, that's my fault. It's my responsibility. Okay.
It doesn't reflect poorly on anyone else. Yeah.
Like if I hop onto somebody else's show and then I mess with their show, oh shit, I'm never going to forgive myself.
We're too hard on ourselves in that respect, I think. I do think it would be really fun in Dumb if they like found and I've thought about this, if they found like a lamp or something, a genie's lamp, and they pull it out to make a wish or whatever, and it was like you come in as like the party killer, as in you just put them in an episode of D&D and you throw them through some crazy combat and try to kill them.
Annihilation.
Yeah, exactly. Which would be super fun. Anyway.
I think we've been on this question for a very long time.
Yep.
So we
the
should
whole
move on.
show, actually.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about books and the one question. We're not going to get through any of the questions, and Brad's going to come back and be like, what the fuck? You guys didn't answer anything.
Yep. Great job, everybody. Good job. Let's see the next question. And by the way, the way that this all works is these whenever you tip, don't worry about like tipping. It's not going to make us immediately switch topics or anything. This just unlocks the other topics for us to talk about. And this next one is
more importantly, keeps us eating and living and continuing the channel.
Absolutely. The tips here that we get on these weekly shill shows are the main way that we're able to pay artists, to pay musicians, to cover our overhead, and as well as pay ourselves. It's the main way that we do that. So we appreciate all the tips. Which we only
started doing last year.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing this, because it's allowed us to do this full time for us. Brad and I now are, it's great. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question comes from Fail. What are your go-to snacks while streaming / GMing or DMing?
Ooh, I don't snack. What am I talking about? Why did I think about that? Like I snack while I'm GMing? No, I can't do that.
Yeah, they don't. Brad and PB hate eating or drinking on camera. This is just the sip that PB took right now is probably killing her. And
I am okay with sometimes drinking, but not while I'm GMing usually.
Yeah. I don't try to do it very often, but I know like if I do feel like I need something, it's probably for a reason, and I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I think snack wise, the only things that I usually would eat are like trail mix or chocolate works really well for my brain as a snack. And I love dark chocolate peanut butter cups. And
I now want like dark chocolate, like covered raspberry. Are you gonna? Because
I'm just gonna get up and leave and go get some right now.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna get some chocolate.
We're just gonna stop doing.
We'll just be right back, guys.
We'll be back. Enjoy the smooth jazz. All right, enough of that. I do have dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's. I know it's backwards, but you got to live with it. That's what we got. keep them in the freezer. Anybody else keep your chocolate in the freezer?
Oh my God.
What are you oh my godding about?
Brad's gonna kill us, dude. He's gonna be like, you got up and left dead air? What's wrong with you?
It wasn't dead. We had smooth jazz. What are you talking about? There was stuff on the screen and music.
Uh-huh. I already inhaled half of it, but I got some like lemon bread.
Lemon bread.
Okay. Yeah. It's really good. And then I also got some chocolate.
Very nice.
Num, 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 num.
I am a big fan of lemon snacks in general. I love lemon stuff. I love, and I haven't had them in forever, but my mom used to get, they're like these lemon shortbread kind of cookies, and they had lemon icing on them. And they used to sell them in just like really simple plastic containers. I forget where she got them. I think they were just like grocery store snacks, you know, like some stuff they just sell at the grocery store that's not like a name brand. It's just like a grocery store brand, effectively. But yeah, they just had like that lemon icing on top, and I fucking loved those things. They were like the half domes. One of those. They were like hemispheres. Those are delicious.
Oh my God.
I used to love those. But anything lemon will usually absolutely destroy me.
Went out? Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh my God.
Lemon stuff.
I do think though that the reason I don't snack is because I'm streaming and producing, right? So
you don't want
if I were to be, exactly.
The ASMR. PB hates the food ASMR.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it, dude. I really can't. Like I will take my headphones off if I'm listening to a stream, and so I can't stand it.
I remember when I did the cat food noise in Facade.
And I was like, no.
It destroyed.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, I can't handle it. I can't handle it because it was accurate.
Horrible.
Also, yeah, it was pretty intense. But also, I think if I was like at a table and it was like chill and we were gonna be relaxing, then yeah, I'd absolutely have some snacks. Probably something like small and like that you could just eat real quick because you got to talk as a GM. As a player, who cares? But as a GM, you gotta, it's got to be like chocolate covered raspberry or something, or like a little tiny, oh my God, you know what I want a pretzel. I want a full fucking ass pretzel.
You mean like a soft pretzel?
Like a soft
like a
pretzel
big soft pretzel
with mustard and salted pretzel. And what time is it? I'm gonna go to the mall.
Just leave in the middle of the show. I gotta go. I need a soft pretzel.
I might go to the mall after this and get myself a soft pretzel, okay? Damn, I'm craving that so good right now.
That one soft pretzel place that's in the mall, in the outlet mall that has 3 people in the entire mall.
Auntie Annie's or whatever the fuck it's called that you guys have in the States that is not here anymore. I get it every time I'm at the airport. Anytime I'm in the US and they have I think it's Aunt Annie's or something. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
But it's a pretzel place, and man, I will get it every time I'm in the airport and they have it. Because the pretzels are so good, but they don't have it here in Canada.
I wonder how hard they are to make.
They're not that hard to make, because I used to make, when I was vegan, I used to make my own pretzels and wrap them around like hot dogs and sneak them into the theater because I couldn't get any snacks at the theater.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I gotta wrap my head around this.
Okay, yep.
When I was vegan...
Yep.
To make pretzels and wrap them around a hot dog.
A vegan hot dog. But yeah, like vegan bratwurst. So I would like, cook that, roast it or whatever. And then I would wrap the pretzel dough around the hot dog and make those like, because those, you would get those at the movie theater. You could get like hot dogs.
I've never heard of a pretzel hot dog. That's incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. But anyway, yeah, because they're easy and you can like, pull them out, dip them in your little mustard and sneak them in. You can sneak them in real easy. Anyway, yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to sneak my own vegan treats, baked goods into the movie theater.
I could really, when you talked about the soft pretzel, I'm like, oh, yeah. How long has it been? It's been 20 years, maybe.
It's been 20 years since I've had a soft pretzel.
It's been
I need
20
one.
years since I've had a fucking soft pretzel.
I feel like we gotta stop talking about it, or I am actually going to.
You have one in your hand right now. She's got a bit. She somehow teleported to the mall and got a soft pretzel. No, that's your lemon bread, right?
Yeah, that's the lemon bread. But yeah, I could go for a. It is. Okay, that's what I thought. It is Auntie Anne's.
Yeah.
Is the name of the pretzel place that you guys have in the U.S.
I never go to those small places like Sbarro and like Auntie Anne's.
Oh, yeah.
And Cinnabon. Well, Cinnabon, I always knew. I'm like, I can't eat this.
It's too much.
It's 1,500 calories.
It's too much.
For one Cinnabon.
It's too much.
And
even that, it's just too sweet. It's too much. Settle down.
I was like, I can't. If I eat this, I'm going to die.
Yeah. I have one bite and I can feel my arteries. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. And like,
yep.
Like
pretzel though. Fuck me up.
Everybody
Let's
fuck me up.
Pretzel?
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah, either that or just like easy food like pistachios and trail mix and like
those
chocolate.
are good.
These are all the things, the basics.
Yeah, but a pretzel though. A soft pretzel.
This is all Luxie's fault, by the way.
I'm looking up to see if
What is the closest soft pretzel to me right now?
Soft pretzel delivery near me. Let's see. Surely there is a pretzel place nearby. There is actually one I've never heard of. Okay. Closes at 9 p.m. So I guess I know what I'm doing after the stream.
9 p.m. Get yourself
Holy
a soft pretzel
shit,
until
dude.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Amazing.
Is it in the mall? It's 100% in the mall, bitch. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that.
Whole day's been planned out. That's what we do here on Non-Effort.
Yep. Next question, please.
We gotta wait for some tips before we get to the next
really?
question. Yeah.
Okay.
For some tips. Watching Luxie eat immediately brought me back to witchcraft and wizardry.
Dude, the craziest thing, and I don't know if this was in the green room or not, but the craziest thing about that, and we love her, we're not gossiping, we joked about this while she was here. The craziest thing about that is that she literally said in the green room, after the first episode, she was like, I told myself I'm not going to eat on Tablestory because like every clip you see of me from Tablestory, I'm eating, and I definitely don't want to do it in the very next episode. She's like, beep, 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 beep. You hear the microwave, and then she comes back with full fucking ice and food, and Brad just immediately takes a screenshot of her eating and like sends a message in the group chat of like this, it took her all of 2 seconds to immediately begin eating again. And I was like, I broke immediately. It was hilarious. I love her so much.
Oh, it's so good. Because I used to tell her on like witchcraft and wizardry, I'm like, I was like, Luxie, I wish I had your metabolism. How do you... I was like, every time I turn on your stream or like during this show, you're eating. And she's like, oh no, it affects me, whack. I'm like, bullshit.
No, it
like,
doesn't.
what? No, it doesn't. You have the greatest metabolism I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. She's like, no, it does affect me. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I can see you. You have a camera. I know, because if I ate that exact same thing, that's going to go right to my stomach immediately. There's no chance.
There's nothing else.
Yep. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the hundo. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Next question. Let's see if I did this right. Nope, that's not right. I already fucked it up. Where is it? I already fucked it up.
I don't know. I'm having chocolate. Oh, this is a great question.
No, it's the wrong one.
Oh, well, it's too late. We should answer it.
Too late.
It's on the screen.
All right. Well, we're going out of order.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
When everything goes off the rails, how do you mentally reset or get things back on track?
Yeah, this is actually such a great question because this just happened recently on Wax premiere day. How? Because there were tech issues right at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. poor Brad and I were in DMs like, boy, his cortisol's got to be like through the fucking roof right now, trying to come down now to GM the premiere episode. Crazy.
So Tiger was having all kinds of audio issues. You got to understand, we do
checks.
We do
check
checks.
Rehearsals.
We check. We do rehearsals. We do episode zeros to kind of like work out issues.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of the equipment and everything that we use, it's so easy for something to break or go wrong and fuck your day up. It happens all the time. Tiger's computer died as well, like a couple weeks later, or the following. I can't remember if that was. I think it was the second week. Yeah. So Tiger was in massive stress because he couldn't. The whole reason we were late for the episode was Tiger's like, please, I just need like 5 more minutes. I'm gonna try. And Tiger is feeling horrible. Yeah, he's absolutely destroyed. He's like, I'm so sorry. He apologized to me 800 times.
Yeah, poor Tiger.
But there's, sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Sometimes we've got these complicated setups, especially if you've got like a 2 PC setup. It's really easy for if something breaks in that chain that you've got going on.
Yeah.
You have to like do twice as much work to figure out where it is, where the problem is. So yeah, it's crazy. As far as the art goes, sorry, Equus, I will be showing the art soon. How much time do you have, Equus? Do you want me to show it now, or should I show it? My thought process was it was going to be enticing for people to hit the next goal on the tip bar. I was gonna try and
it's pretty fucking sick.
Yep. We'll show some artwork for Genesis if we get to the next goals. Yeah, it's devastating when stuff like that happens. I've done so many shows now that I can usually roll with it, but for episode 1 of a show, it's maximum stress. I was just like, can I do everything that I wanted to do in the episode now? Because we started late, and I'm like, can I, like, what can I cut back? And sometimes
you still have to end on time for your players.
You still have to end on time.
You promised them a schedule, Yeah.
I'm like, can I make all this stuff happen? You've got 800 thoughts running through your head about like trying to make everything work. Thank you so much for the subs, much appreciated. Thank you, baseball guy. Thank you. Thank you for the gift subs. Debiru, thank you so much for the 50. Mention art. Okay, I give cash. Thank you. We'll show some art if we hit the next goal here. It's really tough is the short answer. Even with a lot of experience in dealing with tech issues or in dealing with things going off the rails, it can derail stuff. It depends on your mental state during the show too.
Yeah.
If I was going into every show feeling 100%, this is a different situation.
Yeah. Yep.
But the mental aspect of getting these shows worked out and putting the show together and everything, it just fluctuates like crazy. I mean, some days I'll be at 5% and run a show, I'll be at 5% maximum burnout. Didn't sleep the night before. Maybe my voice feels weird or whatever that day, or like maybe I've got a little pain or something. Any of that stuff will just lower your maximum percentage for like what you can handle. Adrenaline will cover for you a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
But not entirely. So it's extremely difficult. Getting things back on track usually involves trying to break down what you want to accomplish in an episode and trying to just hit some of those marks. At least for me, it's usually like, okay, we had stuff start late. Where was I thinking I was going to end this episode? Can I still end there? And if so, how do I accomplish that? And that's usually, I've got like a somewhat of a checklist. Or like,
oh, wow.
But this is also just for the beginning. I'm using Legends of Ascara as an example.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I don't think I have every episode. Do I have like an endpoint in mind?
I don't.
But
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I'm just using Legends of Ascara as an example.
Okay.
Yeah. It usually what will happen is, okay, I probably, if I did have a plan, I probably can't stick to the plan. I'm just gonna have to roll with it, and I'm just gonna have to find a good endpoint based on what the players do. Sometimes you get situations where the players are role playing fucking incredibly.
Yeah.
And that's extra challenging too, because I don't want to stop what's happening right now because it's gold.
Yeah. Don't. That's always my answer for that. Don't. You just let it go.
Yeah, but we could be at the end of the episode. You know what I mean? It could be like, we're at time. How do I fucking interrupt this right now?
I usually just DM everyone and I'm like, I'm going to let the scene play out and then we'll end. You know, I just send a message in the group chat because I don't want to interrupt it. And everybody's usually will check in and be like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And then if anybody has to go, then it's like, you know, sure, you know, dip out quietly, turn your cam off and fade out into the distance.
Yeah, even then it can be really hard. Like I've done that before. And then they'll just have the best scene they've ever had, and I'm just like, how do I cut them off? How do I do that? Yeah. And I'll keep, basically what ends up happening is like I'll keep trying to like, hey guys, we gotta wrap up. I'm so sorry, you know, like can we find a good endpoint? And they're not even looking at the chat.
Yeah, because they're so into
it. Yep. And I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta end the episode here.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll have to do a hard cut, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
But like mentally resetting is extremely difficult when this stuff happens for me. I sometimes can do it like easily. It just depends on the problem. Some stuff is wild. Sometimes we'll run into like a big problem during an episode, and it will just be like, oh, 90% of my body is filled with stress now. Like I'm just cortisol right now. And I just won't mentally reset throughout an episode. And it's like, I just got to get through it. Just get through it.
That's my answer. I just barrel through. I just focus on the, you know, the technical aspects of it. And I'm like, do this. Okay. And then how's the sound? And I just approach one problem at a time. If there is in fact disaster. But it's not too frequent where it feels like I can't recover, you know? Like I don't feel like there's ever really been, luckily.
Knock 800 times on wood.
I don't think there's ever been a situation where it's been like, you know, unrecoverable. So, yeah.
I've had a situation where a player was feeling really ill before a show. And literally while the intro ran, they had to leave.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a time where I was actually really proud of myself for having been able to like just deal with it.
Yeah.
Because that was probably the fastest I've ever acted for any kind of situation like that. It was literally the intro was running and I was like, oh, I have 1 minute and 20 seconds to handle this.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I have to do. And at the time we were like using Zoom. So I was like, okay, get my laptop. I know what I have to load up my laptop. I can't
and join the call. We've done that for my God.
You remember?
Memory unlocked, bro. Where we would do that for each other sometimes. Where you'd be like, fuck this, somebody's out the episode, and I'd be like, I'm hopping in Zoom right now on my iPad and I'm muting. You know, like, oh man, the shit we had to do just so everyone would be in the same spot on cams.
Because we couldn't lock in the cams. We couldn't position stuff.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So like I literally, as soon as I saw the message, my brain was able to compensate, and it was like, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to get another connection to Zoom because the cameras are all gonna be wrong.
Yep.
So go get your laptop, go turn it on, go connect. Do that right now. You can do that fast. Go get my laptop, do it. Happened. No problem. And then I was like, okay, if they're not going to be here today, how much is it going to affect? Not too much. This is actually not a horrible thing. You can do this.
Yeah.
And so in that case, I was able to do it pretty well. And I was very proud of myself for doing that.
Yeah. That's good. I had something like that. I think one of the craziest episodes of Nocturne was like that too. Like it was episode 7, the premiere, the one that we're all like, oh my God, that was crazy. That happened because we were live and somebody canceled. A player had to cancel. And the stream was already up. And so it was like, oh, fuck, now what do we do? And then I think Dan was like, let's just do the premiere again, but different. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, okay. And both KPP and Dan were like, we're going to go rewatch the premiere real quick to see what we said. And I was like, and I'll make an overlay. And that was the fastest I've ever worked in my fucking life, dude. We were already live. Crazy shit happens though when you just trust fall and allow the chaos to be chaos. Yep. Right?
It can make for some really good episodes.
Yeah.
And man, there's a lot of different aspects to improv. And one of those things that I try and like tell players is that like if you go in with a full plan of your character, exactly what you want to do, it's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Same thing with a GM. Don't plan that shit.
Yeah, you can't plan everything. You just can't.
Yeah.
So you need to go in with bullet points. Even if you have like a really convoluted backstory, you can't nail everything down 100%. You just can't. There's stuff that changes. You might not ask all of the right questions of each other. And so that you're on the same page. You can't communicate like perfectly. It just doesn't exist.
Also, if you have a plan of what your character is going to do and think and feel, I'm going to tell you right now, it's wrong because you've been thinking about it from your brain.
Right.
From an outside perspective, you're thinking about the character and, oh, it'd be cool if he did this and that and that. And then you're going to get in the scene and then you're going to be like, wait, I think my character actually feels differently about it because you're in that character for that moment. And then you're like, wait a minute, I think they would do something completely different here than what I originally thought would be cool or thought would happen, right? Like, it's just, don't plan stuff from your character from outside your character's perspective. Get in there and see how they would really feel.
It's a really easy thing to overthink the solution to these problems.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's just you need to kind of keep it simple and just rely on the other people. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people forget at various moments. It's not just players. It's me. I've done it plenty of times where you need to rely on the other people at the table. It's not just you telling the story. It's multiple people telling a story. It's not just your story.
Yeah.
When you run these shows, it's not my story. I'm not telling my story. I'm there to facilitate everybody's story.
Yep.
Yes, there's stuff that I want to happen, but like it might not.
Yeah, and you're there to highlight their characters and their story and whatever happens there, right? Like, and this is just a different, approach to GMing, but that is something that I really kind of like, it's the tables story. Oh my God! And title drop. But yeah, I think like I am there to look at their characters, kind of see what they've brought together with either their backstories or whatever, and then weave the narrative around them to highlight them like you would in a TV show. Oh my God. Oh, that scared me. That was so loud. Okay.
I had to give the power up noise for the table story.
Woo! And a pretzel. A soft pretzel.
Phoebe's ordered 5 soft pretzels.
Yeah.
They're all on the way.
I want no. They don't deliver the soft pretzel, so it will have to be something I go and acquire.
Oh shit!
But I'm willing to do it. It's a mission. Yep, it's a quest.
Thank you so much, Shadow, for the 75. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Shadow. That's like one of my favorite things in esoteric. Ebb, right, is when he's like, "That sounds like a quest." I'm like, I'm gonna say that in my life now. That sounds like a quest.
It adds it to the questing tree, right? And it's just, it's so funny. They breaks the fourth wall for that. To do do that stuff. It's good.
That's cute.
Okay, well, as a thank you for hitting our next question, why don't we put some Genesis art up on the screen?
Yes, let's go.
That's under construction.
Yeah.
I have no good place to put this, so we're gonna put this right over our cameras.
Me. Yeah. Put it right over my large forehead.
Your below average.
My below average forehead.
All right. We'll thumb through some Genesis art. There you go.
I can't see it yet. Where is it? What are you showing?
There you go. You got the map up on the screen.
I don't see it. There it is.
I just did it.
Yes. The thing is I don't know if they know what some of these things are, and I'm not going to tell them because I think it's way cooler if we don't.
Got nothing. You'll have to guess.
Yep. I mean, that's not even done yet, guys. There's going to be something on that map, but yo, this is so good. It's the Paladin of Knowledge, I believe.
I thought you just said you weren't going to tell it.
Fire me. I'm shutting up. Yo!
This is what Brad sees whenever he sees a horse.
Yo! It's so good, you guys. I want to say so much stuff, but I'm not gonna.
Say nothing and like it.
Yeah, I have to say, okay, don't speak to me that way.
You say nothing and like it.
Okay. God, it's so good though, you guys. Progress is being made. Oh yeah, lots and lots and lots. There's a lot of art to get through though. So they're working every day. Every day. Yeah, this one's crazy.
Look at that shit.
Dude. It's
fingies.
So good.
The fingies.
Yeah.
All right. There's your update on the Genesis stuff. Thank you so much for the tips, everybody. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
The next question. Boxers or briefs, and apparently there is a meaning behind this. Is this
okay, I was
going to
say, did we skip best costume?
Well, we did because it was the wrong one. It was the wrong one, and now everything's fucked. Everything's fucked.
Okay.
Nothing's going to be in order.
Cool. Guess they just have to. You guys just have to do the whole bar, or.
Yep.
All right. What is this boxers or briefs bullshit?
Boxers or brief. This comes from Adalisk. Meaning, do you prefer running the combat part of the game or managing plots, schemes, conspiracies, and legal maneuvering? Oh, that's our favorite part, the legal maneuvering of every set.
My goodness. Okay. Wow, I definitely thought that when I looked at that and was like boxers or briefs, I was like, I already have an answer, but I don't know if that's a totally different question. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I love running combat. I love that aspect of it.
Combat is your choice between those.
Because
I think the idea is, which is your preference, combat or the other stuff? Am I misreading that?
Maybe. Meaning, do you prefer running the combat part of the game or managing plots, schemes, conspiracies, and legal maneuvering? I guess not. I guess it is asking which you prefer. I guess the thing for me though is that the managing the plots and the schemes and stuff, that is so much fucking fun, but I'm not planning that. Really, it's more like something has happened in the moment, and then I go, there's a string over here that I remember that I put there, and then I get to bring it over and tie it to this thing that's happening. It's not something that I necessarily sit down and fully plot out. I've gone very hard on it, but it has been scary and not as fun to sit down and plot an entire murder mystery, you know, for 3 episodes. That part is a lot of work, and I'm like, oh, and then I might introduce a character with a fucking limp and a cane, and then they focus on that character, and I'm like, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. I gave him a cane, and now they're like, he's a bad guy, and I'm like, oh no, you know, like, and then dealing with that stress of like, well, what do I do? And you know, the like, do you change it? Do you change it so that he's the bad guy? No, you don't. You can't do that because it's connected to somebody else's backstory and all this other stuff. So that part has been very stressful for me. Like, that's been really stressful. And this piano and fucking, you know, like, it's bringing the stress down for me while I relive it and talk about it. So that's good.
Intentional.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Now, what I should have done was I should queue up the facade playlist to really calm me down.
Yeah, really calm me down.
Just like going to the grocery store.
I think I prefer. You know, I do prefer managing the plots and schemes and conspiracies, but I tell you what, running combat's fun because it's like, I'm going to say this, but I don't mean it this way, but Whack will help me translate it. It's like no brain compared to the other one. Because there are rules and you're like initiative and blah, and you just get to go like, okay, and what are you doing? And what are you doing? And I know what this bad guy is doing and blah, blah, blah. And I don't run a lot of combat because because that's just not the type of show that I'm running. But boy, do I want to run a meat grinder at some point. I do like it. I enjoy it a lot. But I do feel like in the production side of things, it's less brain. There's a lot more happening, but you just know what is going to happen. It's a checklist you go through that you already know that exists, right. And we've done it 100 times, so we know what to expect and what's happening, and you don't have to... You're not listening to the player say something while also responding to another player's DM for something secret they want to do.
You don't have to
also
think
thinking about 8 other plot lines and going.
You don't have to think about the ramifications of everything.
Yes. And like, what is this decision going to do? Because that's what Whack and I are thinking about as a player's telling us a really cool thing. We're like, man, that's really cool. And we're thinking, how is that going to affect everything else? And your brain is going 1,000 miles a minute. So yes, I love that part, but it is more work than the other part.
For sure. For me, thinking about the ramifications of any of the actions that happen, when it's something major, and I have to go into chess mode.
Yes.
That is really tough because my brain can only work so fast. I'm like, okay, I got to think through this a little bit. And you'll see me do it on some shows. Even as a player, I'm like, okay, I have to get into my character's head and really think about this because I think this is an important thing for them. And they would take a second to think about it as well. You
know, something you do really well is you will actually be like, hold on, you'll say that in character. You'll be like, hold on, this is a really huge moment, I think, for my character, and I just want to take a second to think about it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I struggle with that from the GM side of things. Sometimes I'm like, okay, sometimes I'll get too deep in the mental chess, and I'll be like, okay, wait a minute, I got to fucking think about how this is going to affect things. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I have to let this happen, what they're doing, because that's improv. But I have to think like, okay, how bad is this going to fuck things up for me? And like, is there a way I can still put them on track with some fuckery? You know, like, can I add another element here to just kind of get them roughly where I wanted them? Because if they go off the rails here, this is gonna be really really detrimental to them. And I think like,
is that something you experience more running modules? Because I feel like for the most part I don't run into that, but that's because all of my shit is movable. It's like stuff I can put anywhere. But when you're running a module, you can't do that. You got to follow the fucking and I know that you really try to like showcase the module. I try
to be very orthodox when I run modules.
Yeah.
It depends on the module.
Yeah.
It really just depends. So one of the reasons why I think everybody loves Curse of Strahd as a module is because they do this very well, where they will list characters' motives and like goals. And to me, that's one of the best ways you can present a module, instead of trying to give them something on rails, if I know why a character is doing something and what their goal is, I can figure out the next step if it does go off rails. If I can really visualize the motives, and typically I try to do that when I'm writing stuff, is like, why are they doing this? And what is their goal? You know? And if you know those things, you can kind of fill in the blanks a lot of the time. Because you don't really have to fuck with those too much. You can say, like, they're doing it because of this. And unless the players directly influence that thing, that specific thing, their goal or their motives, those aren't going to change. So you can just keep those what they are. And then you just have to connect the dots. Okay, well, if their motives are this, how do I connect these dots? And it's a little bit of problem solving. When you have to do it live, it can be tricky. It can be really tricky. Like, oh no, I have to make this decision right now. That is tough. And sometimes I will try to take a second and be like, hold on a second, I really have to plan this out, guys. You just fucked my stories. Like the plan that I had for this character. Okay. Like, I need a minute to process. I feel like I'm the worst at multitasking out of the three of us. So
I don't know if that's true.
I think I am. But I will really try to think several steps ahead, and that can be detrimental.
That's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think you're bad at multitasking at all. I think that you will be very thorough though when you're thinking about how far does this reach, and mine goes, what is the immediate effect this is having right now? And I'll worry about the rest later. Right. Yeah.
That's the smarter way to do it. Honestly, it's the smarter way to go about it. Instead of trying to think, 3 or 4 steps ahead, I need to just be in the moment. It can be.
Just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it can
I'll worry about the effect of that later. But the concern for me then is don't forget to ask that question after the episode is over. Like, where does this person go after this? Who do they talk to? Who do they see?
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
A really stupid question.
Yeah, let's go.
Which do you think represents each? The boxers is combat or briefs combat?
I was going to say, like, what's the boobily boob here?
What's the ballsy balls?
Yeah, the boxers are briefs. Like, is boxers like actual boxing and then brief is like keep it short? I don't know. Is it like?
I personally think briefs are combat and boxers are the everything else. Because boxers are free flowing.
And loose.
Keeping it loose.
And they can have fun designs on them. Yep.
We can't have any fun designs on briefs. Those got to be white.
No.
And uncomfortable.
No, I like the hot ones.
We got to have the Bryan Cranston, the Breaking Bad, the Fruit of the Loom briefs.
No. Spare yourself. Don't do it. They're much. Never mind.
Oh,
never mind.
There's a good thing there. Come on.
I was about to say something. Never mind.
Dude.
Well, I was gonna say, the ones that have like they go with your thigh a little bit. They're not loose boxers, but the briefs that have
briefs. The mixing of both worlds. That's what I wear. That's what I've got. I've got.
Why did you tell me that?
I've got pink. I have pink ones on right now.
Really?
Yep.
Like what kind of pink? Like a coral
like
pink?
Like a rose. It's closer to a rose kind of pink.
That's cute. I like that.
And they're made of bamboo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, super soft.
Yep.
Super soft. Yeah. Hybrid boxer briefs are the best. That's the answer to that question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. That's really what you guys wanted us to answer, right?
There you go. Thank you so much, Bear of Flame, for the 50. Much appreciated. Thank you. We're almost at our next question, which is not...
Is that more comfortable, though? Can I just ask that?
Yeah.
Like, what's more comfortable?
So I have found that the boxer briefs are more comfortable.
Okay, I would imagine that they would be more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know because I don't have balls, and I forgot the name of Jim Butcher doesn't write about it in his books enough. That's what I was trying to say, and then I just forgot his name. But it would have been hilarious if my brain had been on speed.
Yeah,
God damn it!
I accidentally purchased briefs because it was worded weird on Amazon, I think, at one point. So
those are the ones that like cup your fucking
they
thighs,
end,
right?
They end right underneath
like
your butt. They end right underneath your butt.
Yeah.
And
women like women's panties will sometimes. Yeah. Yep.
And it was there.
No, you gotta go for the the what are they called? The ones that are just on your cheek, but they don't go all the way.
I'm just hoping for any kind of description.
I think they're called. Hold on, I'll look them up.
So it was one of those situations where on Amazon, you know, when you like change a size or something, and it like, oh, it's a different product now. You know, like it's like, oh, it's not the same thing anymore. I was like, dude, I was just trying to change the color. You know, like why is it now like, oh, this is option 12, so this is entirely different. And I got briefs by accident, and they were so uncomfortable to me.
Yeah, man. They have cuffs on the bottom too. Yeah. It's like, is that not cutting into your leg? Like, it just feels like it looks so uncomfortable.
And I go walking all the time, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the proper chafing pain of having, because I got a butt on me. I got a butt.
Yeah. Badonka-donk.
I got a butt. And you know, at the underbutt.
Yeah.
Where it connects to your leg.
Bro.
Right?
Yep.
That fucking band there gets all bunched up, and it just fucking cuts into your fucking into your fucking underbutt. And Jesus Christ, it's so painful. That's just brutal. Yeah.
No way. I don't like the ladies' panties that have the line on the bottom of the cheek either. It's painful. What the fuck? Why? No one needs that. We don't need that. Thank you. Go without it. Thank you so much.
This is the best podcast we've ever done.
This is the best. I know. I was going to come back and be like, how did it go? And we were talking about underwear for 20 minutes and also got up and walked away to get snacks at some point. But also, I need you to know, I've been loving this podcast of ours. Brad should go way more often. This was fun.
Well, it's the middle-aged podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're just let's talk about books. Let's talk about snacks. Let's, listen to some jazz.
Do you like jazz?
Oh, that's so good.
It's the Jerry Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, Glitchy Wheel, for the 25.
Thank you.
Just woke up and have learned some vital info about WAC and PB. Well, congratulations. There you go.
Yeah, congrats.
Okay, next question is wrong on the screen there. Let me see. I've fucked up Kujio's perfect bot already.
That's all right. I don't know why I went Irish there for a second.
This is correct.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Spotlight balance. This question comes from Vundrin. What's the best way to handle spotlight balance if you have one player who dominates the attention?
Did you put that player there on purpose? Because you might have a situation where you've done that because you've got either newer players to the game, or they're just a little bit more shy, and so you need a tank. You need somebody who's going to come in and dominate and kind of let everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. I mean, I assume that they're there and dominating because you want them to be there and dominating, but I don't think I've ever really trying to think about you just find a moment to go. I guess if you're feeling like, all right, this person hasn't had a lot of screen time or, hasn't really had a moment with the spotlight, you just pause and you turn and say, I'd like to know what this person is thinking right now. And you just address that player and you ask them kind of and if they're not necessarily like a heavy role player, then you ask them those internal questions. What is your character thinking right now? Can we have some of that internal dialogue? Or, how do they feel about this? Are they some really good ones that I like are are they afraid of how that's going to go? You know, how are they interpreting this other character that just did a thing? Like, what does that make them think about them or feel about them? Because that gives other players a chance at the table to have interpreted the body language of that player to then kind of bring them into the scene, if that makes sense. Like if you ask a player to tell the audience and the table what they think or how they felt about what somebody literally just did, then it's easier for them to then go like, hey, and engage that other player and say, you know, you look upset, you know, because they didn't necessarily emote or verbally express that their character looked upset, but then they describe like, oh yeah, I was really, you know, I'm really bothered by, you know, this thing that they've done and I'm afraid that they're going to betray us or, you know, whatever. And then somebody can be like, you know, hey, are you okay? It gives them the opportunity to then engage that other player. Did I answer that correctly?
I think
I'm thinking about a soft pretzel. Okay.
I'm going to title the episode this, by the way, Soft Pretzels and Boxers.
Okay. That's perfect.
So there's a lot of different situations where stuff like that happens. Like PB said, did you give them the spotlight on purpose?
Yeah.
You know, or are they just kind of trying to be the main character? There's situations where that can happen sometimes, where a player just kind of dominates a group. Part of that is cast math as well. Like some people work better from the perspective of, oh, this person is support, right? There are players that are really good at just bouncing off of other people. Yeah. And they are a necessary part of the cast.
Yeah.
You have people that just kind of want to hang out, you know?
Yeah.
They want to hang out. They just want to be a part of what's going on, and they don't necessarily want the spotlight. There's also
especially at home games, guys. If you're not running shows, you're going to get people who are having the time of their life, but they don't want to, you know, they don't want to role play their way through. They don't want to be in the spotlight. They're just happy to kind of, you know, be part of the party that is doing the cool thing. So then it's your job. Dave is a perfect example. So it's your job as the GM to make sure that you highlight the character and not necessarily put the work on that player. So if you've got a very shy player who doesn't really want to do it, then you're the one that goes, yeah, and then he runs up the thigh of the orc and, you know, or whatever, and then you're describing for them, you know, and you got to put in that work. So when you've got a shy player like that, then I really recommend don't being like, what does this look like? Like that's a cool thing to do for people who, you know, really like to do that. Like, you know, Meyer, who will come up with really juicy, incredibly interesting descriptions of things. Like you want to ask, that's a player where you're like, what does this look like? Because this probably looks different to you than to me. Or if you've got aphantasia like I do, you know, that's one of the things I do to offload because I don't know what it looks like. So I ask the players to help with that kind of thing. But if I had a shy player, I wouldn't be doing that. I would have to just come up with something and I would, you know, describe it for them so they don't have to. Anyway.
We have a lot of different situations where stuff like that can happen. There can be main character type players where they just kind of take things over. We could have players that are just better in support roles. There's also situations where, hey, sometimes the cast doesn't feel well that night, and like sometimes people will be like, hey, I'm like really out of it tonight, or can you carry?
Yeah.
That happens. I've asked players to do that, like, hey guys, I'm out of it. And some players are just like, okay, I'll step up, and they'll be the main character for that night. And like what's really, it can get frustrating sometimes because I think sometimes the audience will read it as like, oh, this player is like, they're taking over or whatever. Yeah. So there's reasons behind stuff sometimes, you know, like sometimes we'll just be like, none of us are feeling super talkative tonight, you know, like, okay, I'll, you know, and some people just try and step up and whatever. In terms of like the main character scenario, when you get somebody that's doing it and it's just kind of like, hey, we got to try and like split focus here. Where PB mentioned like asking them questions and stuff like that, trying to get the other players involved in many ways is generally the best way to handle that kind of a situation where it's just like, how does, what do we see on your character's face as you react to them saying this?
Yeah.
Or, you try and push the focus onto one of the other characters, or you can also introduce a foil of some kind to that person that's trying to sort of take over, and you don't necessarily want that to happen.
Yeah.
You could make an enemy that is effectively kind of limiting their ability to do stuff, and make it so that they're not in that position. Or you can potentially
split the party up.
Yeah. You can
makes it really easy to be like, okay, and you're doing this, and then we're gonna switch.
Right.
Yeah.
Splitting the party up, that's a good one. Just giving them different kinds of options for the progression of the story is the quick and easy way to make that happen. I think is just like, hey, I don't want to stop people from role playing. I don't want to kill that. So is there something interesting that I can introduce into this scene to maybe break things up a little bit? Because sometimes what it is sometimes people misread things too. Like sometimes you could have a player that's like, oh, things are going really slow. I need to step up.
Yeah.
And they might be misreading the room. And that happens too. In which case it's like if it gets really, really bad, the quick answer is, hey, message them and just be like, hey, maybe we should try and focus on some of the other characters, or I'm not trying to be a dick, but like maybe we should have you interact with one of the other characters and want to just kind of break up the scene a little bit.
Yeah. A good way to do that, sorry to jump in on this, but a good way to do that is ask that player, hey, can you help me bring this person in more? They seem a little nervous and shy.
Because if generally that's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do, yeah. So if you've got somebody that's doing that, you can just ask them and say, hey, can you help me bring this person in more? I feel like they're a little shy, and when I put the spotlight on them, they really get shy. So if you can help me do that, that would be great.
It's like the ADHD thing, right? Where you're trying to tell a similar story to the story that somebody else just told, because you want to make them feel like I went through a similar experience and I want to share that with you in solidarity with your experience. Yeah. I'm not trying to hijack your what you're saying right now. I just want to let you know, like, you're not alone.
Yeah. And if you, and in this situation that you do have somebody that has main character syndrome, you've given them a task and now they're a hero, and they'll love it. They'll be like, yeah, okay, I can do that. I'm the main character. So like, it'll be fine. Either way, that solution works really well.
Yep.
And then obviously, discussion. Like if I feel like, if there was ever a situation where I felt like somebody was like interrupting somebody or talking over somebody a lot, then I would just, when the episode is over, be like, hey, I noticed this. I know you're doing it out of excitement. You don't mean to do it, but like, you're talking over this person a lot or whatever. And we need to make sure that we're, giving them some time. But again, I've never actually had that happen, to be clear. Oh my God.
Hi, boo-boo.
I love her.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, that was it. Okay.
Oh, it's because you said something, right?
Yep. It's because I talked.
Yep.
Ruined everything.
Yeah.
Ruined
my
the
cat
moment.
will be like that too. Like I just have to sit here and be quiet, and he doesn't like the microphone.
Yeah.
So I'll move it away and I'll cuddle him. And the second I move it over to say, hey guys, and he's like, stop, you ruined it, bitch. Like,
this is supposed to be our time.
It was fucking
our
great.
time. I'm the main character.
Yeah.
This has been a good podcast, guys.
Yeah.
If you have any last minute tips that you'd like to help us out with here on the show, we appreciate it.
And
again.
Also, please, if you're going to tip in these last 10 minutes, please tell me what pretzel you would order. Your soft pretzel order, please. I want to know exactly what it would be. Would it be a sweet or a salty pretzel? What toppings would you get? Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what I had last week?
What? I don't know, but
the first time I've ever had it. I've never eaten gelato before, even though my father's side of my family is Italian.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the first time I've never had it. And they had it at Trader Joe's. So they had
wish we had Trader Joe's.
They had pistachio and vanilla gelato. It was so good. It was definitely weird. I wasn't expecting it to taste the way that it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first time I had it, so that was cool.
So Wax gonna go get gelato. I'm gonna go get a soft pretzel. I'm gonna ride my bike, bitch. Like, I'm gonna straight up be like, I'm riding my bicycle.
You gotta earn that pretzel.
Yeah. To go get. Why pick out just one soft? No, I'm not. I'm lying to you guys. I'm definitely getting two. I'm not going all the way to the mall to get one soft pretzel.
She's gonna eat one on the way back.
I'm gonna eat one on the way back, and then I'm gonna have one when I get home. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Absolutely. It's probably gonna be very simple salted pretzel.
Savory or sweet?
I'm savory all the way. Yep.
I agree.
So salted pretzel, and probably I'm a basic bitch. Just have mustard, and that's it. Mustard dip, and the basic bitch yellow mustard too.
Just the like shitty, just the plain old regular
the plain
yellow.
French's bitches yellow mustard.
You can taste the yellow dye number 5.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching today. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for the for the tips. We hope we answered some of these questions for you, as well as gave you some of the middle-age podcast saxophone vibes.
It was so good, dude. It was so good. I loved it.
This is so foreign to me, laughing my ass off, pretzel and mustard. Ahaha. What is the correct way to do it then, Piranha? Tell us the Swedish way.
Wait a minute. Yeah, what? What do you mean?
What's going on?
It's pretzel and mustard. What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Pretzels
What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold on. Wait a minute. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut the fuck up.
We're not ending the podcast on this. I have to know what he means.
I'm stopping the music, Piranha.
Like, okay, yeah. What?
What's going on? What's going on with your?
Could you tell us, like, how is this? Does he mean soft pretzels only that he doesn't do this with, or does he mean like the hard pretzel chips? Because I will also get the hard pretzel chips and dip those in mustard too.
I said what I said. Wait a minute, Piranha. Do you have soft pretzels where you are? Is the soft pretzel the thing in Sweden? We need to know. Thank you everybody for watching today. We appreciate you. Thank you for all the tips. As Piranha tells us exactly what the fuck is going on in his soft pretzel Swedish universe. Tell us what's happening, Piranha. We're waiting for you.
We're waiting just for you, Piranha.
No!
Wait, Piranha's never had a... Okay. How do we fix this?
No.
How do we get Piranha
We're going to have to
a pretzel?
send him a recipe. It's the only way.
Yeah, because he can't have a... Or, you know, we could just fly him out here and then we could all go for pretzels.
Fly him out for a pretzel.
Fly him out for a pretzel.
It's a casual $2,000.
That's our goal for next week. That's our goal next week, is just fly Piranha out to meet us and have pretzels. Yeah. Also, you made me realize I'm also fine with there's like a beer cheese dip at one of the local pretzel places here, and I'm remembering that I don't want a cheap mall pretzel. I'm actually going to go out to a restaurant and I'm going to order that pretzel appetizer. Okay, and I'm going to get the beer cheese dip.
The beer cheese dip. That sounds fucking amazing.
Yep, I'll take pictures.
God.
Okay.
I don't know where I would get a sauce. They might have them at Trader Joe's. I don't know.
A beer dip pretzel or just a pretzel?
Well, I feel like I could make a beer dip. I feel like
oh my God, if you make a beer dip, you have to tell me how to do that, because I want to do that.
To figure it out.
And I will make a pretzel. Home pretzel. Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We're raiding Orcish.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Tell him he's so great at role play. Please compliment the shit out of him when we get in there. Yeah. It'll make him sweat.
Yep. Hurt his feelings. Bye.